Our boy Wang Han is on his delivery route when his phone starts blowing up mid-hustle. He answers and some random girl immediately hits him with the, "I'm pregnant with your child" line. Wang Han ain't falling for that old scam, hanging up on her like she's wasting his time. Shaking off the weirdness, my man gets right back to his grind, weaving through traffic. He pulls up to the delivery center just as his co-workers are deep in some juicy gossip. Wang Han, looking way too cool for this job, asks his chubby co-worker what he's mumbling about. The chubby one starts spilling tea about some rich girl's wedding while our boy just ties his shoe. Gossip boy shows a pic of the crazy hot rich girl complaining she's marrying some ugly dude. Our boy glances at the phone and realizes he knows that face, and his whole demeanor changes. Wang Han snatches the phone from his boy's hand, confirming his suspicions. Oh, it's her. Wang Han remembers her as some drunk girl who tried to hit on him while his boy keeps yapping. The realization hits him like a truck. That scam call was from her, and it wasn't a scam. We flash back to a month ago with the rich girl stumbling down a fancy-ass hotel hallway. She's feeling dizzy and immediately suspects her drink was spiked. Someone's clearly up to no good. The rich girl barely makes it to what she thinks is her room, 809, looking completely wasted. She finds the door unlocked and just walks in, because that's not a massive red flag at all. Meanwhile, in a different room, our boy Wang Han is chugging something, looking absolutely defeated. My man's complaining about his aura being too intense, which is why he's stuck delivering food. The drugged-up rich girl stumbles into his room by mistake and just face plants onto the bed. She wakes up all hot and bothered, asking our boy if he's there to help her. Oh, we know where this is going. Our boy Wang Han is completely mesmerized, thinking she's a goddess while he's blushing like a tomato. The rich girl gets right up in his face asking for help, and my man's brain just blue screens. And we get the classic fade to black scene because of course we do. We all know what happened next. Gossip boy snaps our man out of his spicy flashback, pulling him back to the boring present. The chubby co-worker starts roasting him for spacing out, ironically asking if he hooked up with the heiress. The whole delivery squad joins in, clowning on Wang Han for all the wild stories he tells. Wang Han, cool as a cucumber, lights a smoke and claims he's just hiding in plain sight. His boys are still not buying it, but Wang Han just tells everyone to get back to work. Right on cue, a flashy red Lamborghini pulls up, making a scene right in front of them. The entire delivery crew collectively loses their minds over the ridiculously expensive car. A single high heel steps out of the Lambo, and you just know some drama is about to unfold. The rich girl, Suchi, emerges from the car, looking way too classy for this delivery depot. We get a close-up, and yep, it's the heiress from the photo, and she does not look happy. The entire delivery crew is down bad, with hard eyes popping out like cartoon characters. Gossip boy's brain finally starts working, connecting the woman in front of him to the photo. The whole squad collectively loses it, realizing the actual Su family heiress is right there. The heiress walks straight past everyone and calls out Wang Han for ignoring her calls. His co-workers are absolutely floored that their boy is getting called out by a billionaire. Wang Han plays it cool, pretending he didn't see any calls like a true professional dumbass. She drops the "I'm pregnant with your baby" line again, right in front of his entire crew. The whole delivery squad is absolutely bugging out, while Wang Han just looks done with this entire situation. Our boy, still in denial, asks the heiress if she's sure, clearly hoping this is all a huge mistake. Suki hits him with a dead serious stare and tells him they're going to the hospital to prove it. Gossip boy and the crew are now his personal hype men, telling him to get in the damn car already. Wang Han finally agrees but is still worried about his job, asking his boys to cover for him. The Lambo peels out, leaving the delivery depot and all logic behind in a cloud of dust. In the car, our boy is still trying to process, asking her if the baby is actually his. Wang Han steps up, promising to take full responsibility for her and the baby if it's his. The heiress just gives him this unimpressed side-eye, like she's not buying his broke-ass hero act. And then she just roasts him, asking how he'll pay for anything with his delivery boy salary. Wang Han leans back, acting like his delivery boy salary can actually support a billionaire's lifestyle. She drops the "I'm from the Su family" bomb, but our boy just calls her family status dumb crap. The heiress is done talking and decides to let her high heel on the gas pedal speak for her. She absolutely floors it, giving Wang Han a taste of that rich girl road rage he wasn't ready for. Our boy is freaking out, accusing her of trying to kill him while she just ignores his broke ass. They finally pull up to the hospital, and she tells him to get out like he's trash. Suki steps out looking like a final boss while Wang Han is still recovering from the whiplash. She warns him that her family will literally erase him if they find out he knocked her up. Wang Han, with zero survival instinct, puffs out his chest and screams about taking responsibility anyway. The heiress, completely unimpressed by his shouting, just tells him to shut up and get inside. Some random old dude in a hospital gown tells them to wait, adding to the weird-ass vibe. Our boy finally reads the sign for the operating room and starts asking the right questions. The heiress just gives him a cold look over her shoulder, telling him she's going in. The realization finally hits our boy's single brain cell. She's not here for a checkup. Wang goes from 0 to 100, grabbing her and asking if she's lost her damn mind. He's back on his "I'll find a way" hero speech, but she's looking at him like he's broke. The nurse rolls up with a clipboard, calling Suki for her procedure like it's a spa day. She grabs his hand and gives him this smug little smile, playing the part perfectly. The heiress just strolls into the OR, leaving Wang standing there completely stunned. Our boy is left fuming, realizing he's completely powerless against this woman's plans. The heiress is on the operating table with the surgeons asking if she's ready to start. Suki gives the camera a look of pure resignation, like she's accepted her fate. One of the surgeons preps a needle, telling her to relax like that's even possible. She squeezes her eyes shut as a single tear escapes. Okay, this just got heavy. At the last second, she throws up a hand and stops the whole procedure. She was bluffing. Meanwhile, our boy is outside having a pity party, convinced he's completely powerless. The door slides open and the heiress walks out, fully dressed and looking completely fine. Wang brain just blue screens, completely shocked to see her standing there. Our boy jumps up demanding to know how the surgery was over so damn fast. She just says she's tired and asks him to drive her home, still roasting his broke ass. Wang, now her personal chauffeur, casually claims he can fly a fighter jet. My man puts the pedal to the metal, handling the Lumbo like he was born in it. As they pull into a rich-ass neighborhood, our boy gets a very important-sounding phone call. He answers the call looking all serious while the heiress is passed out next to him. The call is about some secret bidding event, confirming our boy is living a double life. He pulls up to her family's ridiculously huge mansion and tells her to wake up. The heiress looks completely drained, not saying a word as they finally arrive home. She tells him to bounce before her family sees him, but he's trying to be a gentleman. She shuts him down cold, telling him to mind his own business while he just waves it off. A high heel stomps down hard enough to crack the pavement. Oh shit, the final boss has arrived. The heiress, Suki, trips and almost eats pavement. Classic. Wang, our delivery boy hero, sees her fall. Here we go again. Wang catches Suki mid-fall, smooth but predictable. He calls her clumsy. Dude, she's rich, not graceful. Suki grabs his shirt, probably about to unleash hell. Oh. She punches him in the chest. Damn girl, chill. Wang grabs her hair. This is escalating quickly. He grabs her leg. This is getting weird. Bro, Wang carries her bridal style. Okay, this is officially a rom-com, we're in a fancy room. Safe to say he's at her place. Bet money. Our boy Wang is now playing doctor, tending to the heiress's ankle in her ridiculously fancy living room. Suki is trying to act tough, but my man insists on patching her up, pulling out a whole first aid kit. And right on cue, they get walked in on by two women who look absolutely shocked. We get the official intro. It's her pissed-off mom, Yang Huiman, and her concerned best friend, Lin Suefu. Wang tries to explain the situation calmly, but Suki decides to throw gasoline on the fire. She straight up tells them he's her boyfriend, who is just helping her out. This girl loves chaos. Our boy's face is pure shock. He did not sign up for the boyfriend role in this drama. The mom is absolutely losing it over the idea that her daughter is dating a delivery guy. Mama Su demands an explanation from her daughter, clearly not buying this sudden romance. She then turns her full wrath on Wang, pointing at him like he's a bug she's about to squash. Suki looks completely over it, probably regretting her decision to introduce a fake boyfriend. She tries to backtrack, telling her mom it was a joke, but Mama Su is not buying that weak excuse. The mom hits her with the guilt trip, reminding her she's engaged to some dude from the Chin family. Our boy Wang finally speaks up, defending the honor of delivery guys everywhere. Mama Su goes full Karen, calling him a low-class nobody who needs to stay in his lane. Oh, she pushed the wrong button. Our boy's intense aura is back, and he looks pissed. The best friend Lin Suefu steps in and tells Wang to leave before things get ugly. As he walks away, the best friend gives him a look like she knows there's more to this story. Mama Su is so extra, she tells the bestie to disinfect the floor where our boy stood. The best friend gets sway alone and asks for the real tea, but she denies everything. The best friend, Lin Suefu, sees right through Suki's weak-ass denial about the delivery boy. Suki just drops the "I'm pregnant with his child" bomb on her bestie like it's the weather, and the best friend's brain just short-circuits, completely losing her shit over the news. She tries to talk some sense into Suki, who's just brushing it off as a drunken mistake. Suki doubles down, telling her bestie she's keeping the baby, engagement be damned. The best friend goes full on feral, thinking Sway has completely lost her damn mind. Sway calmly mentions our boy promised to take responsibility, like that solves everything. The bestie goes on a classic rich girl rant about how a delivery guy is beneath her. Suki hits her with the talk to the hand, and tries to change the subject immediately. The best friend mentions a bidding event, and wait a minute, wasn't that from our boy's secret call? The best friend's eyes light up, and you just know some terrible advice is about to be given. She hits Sway with the "I have a brilliant idea" line, which is never a good sign. The bestie suggests accusing our boy of rape, and Sway is rightfully disgusted. What a psycho. Meanwhile, Wang Han is just trying to find his way out of this rich people maze. My man's stranded in the villa district with no taxis, but a mysterious black car pulls up. The car stops right in front of him, because of course his ride just magically appears. A fancy-ass leg steps out of the car, and our boy looks like he knows what's up. Some old dude in a suit calls him young master, and the delivery boy cover is officially blown. The old-timer confirms he's the ride to that secret bidding event from the phone call. Wang Han plays it cool, saying his grandpa told him, confirming he's not just some delivery dude. Wang Han tells the old-timer he needs a wardrobe change, because you can't show up to a bidding war in a delivery uniform. The limo peels out, officially leaving his delivery boy persona in the dust for the night. We cut to the bidding event, and it's exactly the kind of rich people party you'd expect. Our boy Wang Han cleans up nice, looking like he owns the place instead of delivering food to it. But of course, the best friend Lin Duofu spots him from across the room. Busted. She walks up on him, still thinking he's just some random delivery dude who snuck in. The bestie really asks if he's working another part-time gig as a waiter. The audacity. Wang Han is starting to sweat, trying to figure out how to play this without blowing his cover. She just grabs him and drags him off like he's a misbehaving child, not even asking. The best friend goes full ride or die, threatening him to take responsibility for Suki's baby. Our boy is still processing the baby news, thinking she already handled it at the hospital. The bestie goes feral, grabbing his collar and confirming Suki is keeping the damn baby. The single brain cell finally fires, and he realizes the whole surgery was a complete sham. She gets right up in his grill, threatening him not to even think about ghosting them. And to really drive the point home, she stomps her high heel right on his foot. My man is screaming in pain while she just looks at him like he's pathetic. Cold. Their little soap opera gets interrupted by the announcer starting the main bidding event. Wang Han decides he needs to speedrun this rich people party to go find the baby mama. Some new girl in a suit rolls up and calls him young master right in front of the bestie. She introduces herself as his assistant, officially confirming our boy's secret identity is out. The bestie is gone, and our boy Wang Han tells his assistant it's time to get down to business. Wang Han and his assistant look completely shook as they walk into the main hall. Some dude on stage announces the Qin family is just claiming the bid, basically telling everyone to back off. We get a close-up on this new villain's greasy mustache as he demands respect. This clown is Qin Lei, the young master of the Qin family, and he's threatening the whole room. The assistant confirms this mustache-twirling villain is their main competition for the night. Our boy scoffs at the idea of this dude being a rival while his assistant explains their plan. The pieces finally click for Wang Han. This is the ugly rich dude Suchi is engaged to. Our boy gives the fiancé a death stare, realizing this whole bidding war just got personal. The auctioneer officially starts the bidding for the big prize, and you know it's about to go down. The fiancé, Qin Lei, opens the bidding with a cool 5 billion like it's pocket change. The whole room starts whispering, saying no one would dare challenge the Qin family. Our boy Wang Han immediately raises the bid to 6 billion without even blinking. The crowd absolutely loses it, wondering who this dude with a death wish is. Everyone's gossiping about how this clueless new guy is about to get himself killed. The fiancé's fist clenches so hard you can feel his ego bruising from across the room. Mustache Man starts screaming, asking who the hell is trying to start trouble with him. Wang Han just gives him a calm smile, explaining how auctions work to this clown. The fiancé doubles down, trying to intimidate him by saying the Qin family wants this. Our boy hits him with the ultimate power move, asking what that has to do with him. The whole room is bugging out, wondering who this new guy with a death wish is. Mustache Man gets all red-faced and UPS the bid, clearly not used to being challenged. Our boy Wang Han just casually raises it again, looking bored while doing it. The fiancé and his crew roll up on Wang Han, trying to pull the "we own this city" card. This clown gets right in our boy's face, screaming about how they always get what they want. Mustache Man throws out another bid and a death threat, thinking that'll scare him off. Wang Han just laughs, completely unbothered by the little man's temper tantrum. Our boy hits him with the 1 billion bid, and you can just feel the ego shatter. The fiancé finally snaps and throws a punch, screaming about feeding him to dogs. Wang Han catches the punch like it's a slow-pitched softball, not even breaking a sweat. Our boy Wang Han goes airborne and kicks Mustache Man right in the jaw, asking if he's all alone. The fiancé's whole crew comes flying in to jump him, but our boy looks completely unbothered. Wang Han starts using the furniture as weapons, yeeting a chair into some goon's face. We get the close-up on our boy's face and yeah, he's officially done playing games. My man turns into a human blender, taking out the entire squad with a flurry of kicks. Mustache Man is absolutely bugging out, shocked that some random dude actually hit him. Wang Han hits him with a smug-ass look, confirming he's exactly the one doing the hitting. Our boy launches himself for the final blow, about to send this clown into next week, and we get the massive impact sound effect because of course this dude got rocked. Wang Han has Mustache Man in a chokehold with his legs, completely and utterly owning him. Our boy Wang Han, fresh off the beatdown, asks the room if anyone else wants to bid. The auctioneer is absolutely terrified, confirming that no one else wants to get folded. Wang Han tells his assistant to handle the boring money stuff because he's got a baby mama to find. We cut to some other rich people drama, with a new old dude and a girl in a white dress. The girl, who is actually the bestie Lin Suefu, complains to her grandpa about missing the auction. Grandpa tells her to watch her mouth because they're waiting for a mysterious big shot. The bestie scoffs, wondering who could possibly make her powerful grandpa act so damn cautious. A butler rolls in to report that the Chin family got outbid and lost the auction. The bestie is completely floored, wondering who had the balls to snatch a win from the Chin family. Grandpa drops the bomb that the guy who won is the exact person they're waiting for. The bestie tells her grandpa she's got a dip to make a call, clearly trying to escape the awkward waiting. She's speed walking down the hall, realizing the Chin family's L means Suchi's engagement is probably off. And of course, she's so busy with her phone she walks right into our boy Wang Han. Classic. She immediately starts flaming him, still convinced he's just some delivery dude who keeps showing up everywhere. The bestie just walks past him to make her call, while our boy looks like he's connecting the dots. Wang Han enters the room and the grandpa greets him as young master, officially starting the big shot meeting. Our boy confirms the auction is handled, and then casually asks about the girl he just ran into. Smooth. Grandpa goes full wingman trying to set him up with his unmarried granddaughter, but Wang Han ain't interested. The old man starts dropping lore about Suchi's family and the now busted marriage alliance with the Chin family. Our boy gets real serious, asking about Suchi's personal life like he's running a background check. The grandpa keeps dropping intel, confirming Suchi is a stubborn good girl who's never dated. Our boy gets this smug-ass grin, realizing he's the first and only just as his phone starts ringing. And speak of the devil, it's the baby mama herself, Suchi, calling him right on cue. He answers and she wants to meet, so my man immediately agrees to pull up on her. Wang Han dips out while the grandpa is still trying to set him up with the bestie. Bro, read the room. We cut to Suchi looking all pensive on a park bench, probably overthinking this whole situation. A close-up shows she's definitely got a lot on her mind. The baby daddy drama is real. Our boy rolls up on a sick-ass motorcycle, ditching the limo for a more dramatic entrance. He stands over her like the main character he is, ready to drop some life-changing news. Wang Han puts his arm around her and just casually proposes, promising to take care of everything. The heiress hits him with the reality check, asking if his broke ass can actually afford a family. Our boy, in full rich guy mode, acts like money is just a concept for poor people. She points to her watch, basically asking him to price check his own financial doom. My man flexes hard, naming her watch down to the damn screws without even looking. Suchi is shook but still roasts him about his delivery salary. Old habits die hard. Wang Han goes full sugar daddy, talking about having kids while she tells him to chill with the bragging. And of course, the moment gets interrupted by her phone ringing. Classic drama timing. It's Mama Su telling her to get home because some new Chin family dude is there for the wedding talk. Suchi looks completely defeated and asks for a ride home, and our boy is all too happy to oblige. He tells her to hop on the bike, ready to continue his mysterious bad boy act. Our boy Wang Han is absolutely flying down the street on his bike with the baby mama holding on. The heiress is totally digging the bad boy vibe, leaning on him with a smile. They ride off into the sunset, or at least back to her ridiculously huge mansion. My man escorts her right up to the front door like he's been doing this his whole life. Suchi announces she's home, with our boy standing right behind her looking like her new boyfriend. Mama Su is already waiting with some new dude, looking pissed that her daughter is late. The heiress tries to play it off like she was just on a walk, which is a bull-faced lie. Mama Su immediately calls her out for bringing a man home, reminding her she's still engaged. The new guy on the couch gives a friendly wave, confirming he's the replacement fiancé. And we get the official intro. This is Chinhao, the second son, so they swapped out Mustache Man. Mama Su tells the new fiancé the wedding deal is on hold since his family lost the bid. This new clown, Chinhao, brushes it off, saying they should just get married first. Total red flag. And his inner monologue confirms he's a creep just trying to get her in bed. We got another winner here. Mama Su starts pressuring her daughter, dangling a $1 billion bailout for the family business. Suchi ain't having it, giving them a hard no with her whole chest. Both the new fiancé and Mama Su are completely stunned that she'd dare to refuse. Suchi grabs our boy and drops the ultimate bomb. She's pregnant with his kid. Oh, it's on now. Mama Su's face just completely shatters. The meltdown is officially in progress. She points at our boy, screaming about him being a delivery guy while Suchi tries to calm her down. Mama Su goes full-on psycho, about to slap her own daughter for having no shame. Our boy Wang Han catches the slap mid-air because nobody hits the baby mama. He steps in between them, asking Mama Su what her problem is with delivery guys. My man calls her out for trying to sell her daughter, asking who really has no shame. Mama Su goes absolutely feral, screaming at him to let her go like he's a bug. The replacement fiancé, Chinhao, finally pipes up, calling the heiress a slut. This new clown starts threatening to kill her for embarrassing him. Bro, you just got here. The fiancé throws a punch at Suchi, but our boy smacks him down like a fly. Wang Han sends the clown flying across the room with a single backhand. Our boy pulls the baby mama close, claiming his woman and his kid. Damn, that was smooth. The fiancé is on the floor, throwing a tantrum and threatening them both. Pathetic. The replacement fiancé, Chinhao, grabs a heavy-ass ashtray because his fists clearly weren't working. This clown charges in screaming he's gonna kill our boy, who looks completely unimpressed. My man tells the baby mama to stand back, and she's clearly digging the protector act. The clown swings for the fences, trying to take our boy's head off with that ashtray. Wang Han dodges like it's nothing and just folds the dude with a single punch. Our boy stands over the clown, dropping the classic "you dare touch my woman" line. He gets on top of the replacement fiancé, ready to teach him a very painful lesson. My man just starts wailing on him, and the clown is screaming his head off. The replacement fiancé is getting his face rearranged and is now crying for help. Pathetic. The baby mama finally steps in and tells our boy to stop before he actually kills him. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, the final boss grandpa rolls in with his crew. The heiress recognizes her grandpa, while our boy Wang Han just stands there like he owns the place. The whole squad walks in on the replacement fiancé, knocked out cold on the floor. Talk about awkward timing. Grandpa Su hits them with the "I heard everything" line, and you know shit's about to get real. The old man points his cane at our boy, demanding to know if she's really pregnant by a delivery guy. Su Ki with zero hesitation just confirms it. Damn, she's really committing to this. The whole family starts bugging out, screaming about aborting the baby to save their asses. Some new Chin family goon says even if she does, she's still trash to them. Classy. Her family is in full meltdown mode, blaming her for ruining everything like a bunch of drama queens. The heiress just looks completely defeated, probably realizing her entire family is garbage. The heiress Suki finally snaps and tells her whole garbage family to shut the hell up. All the stress finally hits her, and she starts to pass out right in the middle of the drama. Our boy Wang Han catches her mid-feint going full hero mode and promising to get her out of there. Grandpa Su starts screaming at him to let her go, threatening to break his legs. Old man's got some nerve. Wang Han gives them a death stare, calling them out for being absolute monsters to their own daughter. He just scoops her up bridal style and starts walking out, completely ignoring her family's meltdown. The family goons try to stop him, so my man just stomps the ground and sends them flying. Our boy gives the room a final challenge, asking if anyone else wants to get wrecked. The entire family is completely shook, finally realizing they can't do shit to stop him. He just walks out the front door with her, leaving her trash family to stare in disbelief. Our boy takes the baby mama back to his delivery guy apartment, which looks surprisingly decent. He gently lays the passed-out heiress on his couch, trying to be a gentleman for once. As he sets her down, her phone slips out of her purse. You know something's about to be revealed. My man picks up the phone, probably about to snoop through her DMs or something. He realizes it's her birthday, and her whole family just treated her like absolute garbage. Damn. Wang Han goes full protector mode, vowing to flex on everyone because she's his woman now. 20 minutes later, the heiress finally starts waking up from her drama-induced nap. She sits up, looking around all confused, like she just woke up from a 3-day bender. Our boy rolls in wearing an apron, offering her food like he's a damn 5-star chef. My man cooked a whole ass banquet for her birthday. The delivery boy act is officially dead. My man is flexing his 5-star cooking skills, saying even a princess would beg for a bite. The heiress tells him to shut up with the bragging, but you can tell she's totally impressed. She lays down a weird rule about not saying the word die, and our boy is completely lost. And then he pulls out a whole ass birthday cake from thin air. This dude's full of surprises. He hits her with the happy birthday and a wink, going for the full-on charm offensive. The heiress is completely shook, asking how he knew. My man definitely went through her phone. He's just soaking it in, asking if she's impressed while she's having a full-on emotional crisis. We get the close-up on the single tear. Yep, he got her right in the feels. Our boy offers his shoulder to cry on, flexing that even supermodels don't get this privilege. And she just laughs, looking genuinely happy for once. Okay, that was actually pretty smooth. The heiress offers our boy a bite, looking way too comfortable in his apartment. She admits he's cooking his fire, and my man just hits her with a smug. Of course, they're doing the whole birthday wish thing, and it's getting dangerously domestic in here. Our boy gets down to business, asking her what the plan is with that smug-ass grin. The heiress calls him out, asking if he's really gonna step up like he promised. He challenges her to marry a delivery guy, and she just agrees on the spot. These two are insane. The baby mama is all in, looking like she's ready to burn her old life to the ground. Our boy looks like this was his master plan all along. This dude is playing 4D chess. And of course, his secret life phone starts blowing up, ruining the moment. He steps away to take the call, and you just know it's more rich people business. Our boy is on the phone with his subordinate, asking for the latest drama in his secret life. His boy warns him some assassin named Hydra is in town specifically to put him in the ground. Wong Han, cool as ever, just lights a smoke and says he'll deal with it tomorrow. We cut to the heiress, Suki, getting a birthday call from her bestie while eating cake. The bestie is pissed our boy wished her a happy birthday first, still roasting him for being a delivery guy. Suki just keeps eating her cake, completely ignoring her friend's incoming meltdown. She drops the "we're getting married tomorrow" bomb, and the bestie's brain just short-circuits again. The best friend is in full-on panic mode, trying to figure out how to save her from this disaster. The heiress says she'll beg the big shot who won the auction for help, not knowing it's him. Meanwhile, our boy gets word that some eldest princess is asking about him. This dude's got problems. Our boy is pissed, asking his subordinate if he really snitched on his location to this new mystery girl. His boy is bugging out, saying this princess would have literally castrated him if he didn't talk. Wong Han is so stressed he crushes his damn lighter. Yeah, this new girl is definitely bad news. He's screaming at his boy for selling him out after all their brothers from other mothers talk. The subordinate tries to play matchmaker before faking a bad signal and dipping. What a coward. Our boy is left alone realizing he's got yet another woman-related disaster on his hands. His phone starts buzzing again, and my man looks like he's expecting another crisis. It's a text from the bestie, Lin Zufu, formally introducing herself to the big shot auction winner. She's trying to set up a business deal and offers to do anything he asks. She has no idea. Wong Han gets a smug-ass look, realizing the baby mama's best friend is trying to simp for him. The bestie's grandpa calls to apologize for her snooping, but our boy already knows what's up. My man orders a sniper rifle for that assassin and gives the baby mama a whole business district. The heiress is just chilling in his apartment, looking way too comfortable for someone who just disowned her family. She gets a text from the big shot she's been simping for, not knowing it's the dude in the next room. The heiress is absolutely beaming, thinking her luck has finally turned around. Oh, you have no idea, girl. Our boy asks what's up, and she hits him with the "you wouldn't understand" line. The irony is killing me. He starts roasting her for reading books, trying to keep his delivery boy cover intact for some reason. My man leans in with the ultimate "you don't know me" line, and the riz is undeniable. She's completely flustered, thinking he's about to collect on that marriage promise tonight. But he hits her with the gentleman act, offering her the bed while he takes the couch. Smooth move. Our boy hits her with some unsolicited pregnancy advice before leaving her blushing in the bedroom. The heiress is down bad, admitting to herself she was actually hoping he'd make a move. We jump to the next morning, because it's time to get these two legally bound. My man starts his day with some casual one-handed handstand push-ups, because of course he does. The heiress walks out and roasts his workout, asking if he's practicing some kind of frog jutsu. He drops some badass martial arts name on her, but she's clearly not buying the delivery boy's secret skills. She calls him out asking why a delivery guy needs to know a genuine killing technique. He hits her with a wholesome backstory about protecting his family, and she's totally eating it up. The heiress is now playing house, making him breakfast and calling him thoughtful. My man tells her they're going to his place after breakfast, and you know it ain't this apartment. The heiress says they need her papers to get married, while our boy keeps up the poor delivery guy act. She calls his bluff, asking if he's backing out, and he just smirks like the smug bastard he is. My man asks about meeting the parents, but she's playing the long game. Baby first, family drama later. She admits her family would never approve, so she's going to trap them with a grandkid. Savage. He asks if he's marrying into her family, and she checks him out before dropping the bad news. The heiress roasts him one last time, saying his family background is a little weak. Our boy hits her with the "am I not good enough" line before telling her to get on the bike. She hops on, and my man tells her to hold on tight before they speed off to make it official. They peel out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, leaving all common sense in the dust. And of course, some new goons are watching, with the chubby one calling her a bitch for sleeping with a delivery guy. The chubby goon orders his boys to kill our man and kidnap the heiress. Real classy. Scarface and his crew are all too happy to follow orders and start the chase. Our boy and the baby mama are just trying to enjoy their post-wedding ride, completely clueless. Wong Hen clocks the van tailing them, realizing their little joyride is officially over. He tells the heiress to dip, trying to get her out of the line of fire before shit pops off. My man starts weaving through traffic like a pro, trying to shake these clowns. He drops her off at a safe house, which is definitely not his delivery boy apartment. Our boy gives her one last look before peeling out to handle his new fan club. He confirms the van is still on his ass, officially luring them into a trap. Wong Hen floors it, ready to lead these goons on a merry chase right into an ass whooping. Our boy pulls up to the safe house, which looks more like a damn mansion than a hideout. My man does a power slide so hard he cracks the damn pavement. A little extra, don't you think? We get a close-up on his shoes, because I guess his footwear is important to the plot now. He looks up and spots someone on the balcony, probably thinking it's his backup. Nope, it's Scarface from the van. The goons beat him here and it's an ambush. Our boy isn't even surprised, just annoyed he has to clean house before his real fight. He just walks right into the trap house like he's paying rent. This dude has zero fear. And look what's waiting for him. The sniper rifle he ordered to deal with that Hydra assassin. My man picks up his new toy, giving props to his boy for the quick delivery. He's checking out the scope, but hold up, is that a bra on the bed? My man's priorities are a mess. And of course the bestie, Lin Suefu, walks out in a towel and starts screaming. She's still roasting him for being a delivery guy, asking what he's doing in her family's villa. Our boy spots a sniper's laser dot on her forehead and immediately tells her to get down. He tackles her onto the bed just as a bullet shatters the window behind them. She's still trying to fight him off, completely clueless that he just saved her life. My man pins her down, telling her to shut up before she gets them both killed. He gets up all business while she's still trying to process the near-death experience. Our boy gets on the scope, calling out that Hydra assassin like he's been waiting for this. He opens fire like a damn professional and the delivery boy act is officially dead. My man literally shoots the other sniper's bullet out of the air. Okay, John Wick. The other sniper returns fire, shattering the window right where our boy's head used to be. And we see Hydra, the so-called legendary assassin, folded on the ground looking absolutely shocked. Our boy acts like it was nothing while the bestie is having a full-blown meltdown in her towel. But hold up, Wang Han's face goes from smug to oh shit real quick. A second bullet comes flying in, confirming this party has more than one uninvited guest. He screams at the bestie to get down, tackling her for the second time in 5 minutes. My man uses his own back as a shield while the bestie is just screaming her head off. He realizes there's another shooter and grabs the first piece of clothing he can find. My man eats her dress, realizing he's got Hydra, the Van Goons, and a mystery shooter to deal with. He's using her dress as a decoy, sarcastically welcoming all the guests who came to kill him. Our boy is locked and loaded while the bestie is still trying to process the whole near-death in a towel situation. My man returns fire from the damn bed, turning this fancy-ass villa into a full-on war zone. He nails the other sniper's scope dead on, and this old dude is completely floored he got outplayed. The second shooter starts spraying and praying from the rooftop, clearly pissed he just got his gear wrecked. Wang Han tackles the bestie again while she screams about him being a pervert. Girl, read the damn room. My man literally catches the bullet casing midair like some kind of action hero. He drops some lore about the bullet belonging to a whole-ass assassin organization called Abyss. Our boy asks the bestie who she pissed off, and she's just as clueless as ever. Wang Han starts sweating, realizing he only brought 2 bullets to a 3-assassin party. The bestie finally remembers she told some Eastern European boss to kick rocks. Oh, so it's her fault. Our boy shoves the bestie's head down, screaming at her to be careful while she's still in a towel. They're just chilling on the floor together, surrounded by broken glass while she's still processing. My man picks up a shard of glass talking about using his special move. Bro, this ain't an anime. He makes a full-on dash for the window, ready to take on a sniper with a piece of trash. Our boy eats the glass shard with the force of a damn bullet. The delivery boy act is so dead, the old man sniper gets a face full of glass and is absolutely bugging out. He just got styled on. And just like that, both snipers are down for the count. My man just cleared a rooftop with pocket change. Our boy stands up and tells her it's safe, dusting off his hands like he just took out the garbage. The bestie finally realizes a delivery guy can't do that, but he hits her with the mind your business. She threatens to snitch to the baby mama, but our boy just shushes her like she's a damn child. Our boy tells the bestie to shut up, realizing the party ain't over yet. The bestie is bugging out, finally understanding she's in a full-on action movie. She's clinging to him for dear life while he plays the cool hero, ready to investigate. The Van Goons finally make it inside, still confused about the delivery guy being here. Scarface and his crew decide our boy must be a common thief, not the brightest bunch. My man just strolls down the stairs and gives them a casual wave like they're old friends. He hits them with a smug-ass grin, asking if they're here for him. The ball's on this guy. Scarface starts running his mouth about the replacement fiancé and threatens to break his legs. Our boy's just trolling them now, asking what their brilliant plan is. The goons finally charge, ready to get folded for messing with the wrong delivery guy. Our boy immediately starts cleaning house, kicking some goon right in the face. Scarface gets a face full of foot, and you can tell his ego is taking a major hit. My man has already folded half the crew and Scarface is the last clown standing. Scarface is having a full-on crisis, wondering when delivery guys started training with ninjas. This clown's pride is so hurt he charges in, refusing to lose to a delivery guy. Our boy just casually leaps over him like this is some kind of video game. He stomps the sword right out of his hand, officially ending this dude's whole career. The bestie finally comes downstairs, just in time to see the aftermath of the beatdown. She starts screaming her head off, completely forgetting she just survived a sniper attack. Scarface gets back up, telling her to shut it, while our boy just watches, completely unimpressed. Scarface grabs the bestie, pulling the classic I'll use the girl as a shield move. He puts a sword to her throat, but the bestie is still trying to threaten him with her grandpa. Our boy Wong Han just calls his bluff, telling him to go ahead and do it. Ice cold. My man keeps walking forward, taunting the goon who is now visibly panicking. Wong Han hits him with the "you don't have the balls" stare, and he's not wrong. Scarface is completely losing his shit, screaming at him to stop. Yeah, he's bluffing. Something flies past them and cracks the wall. My man is using telekinesis now? Nope. Our boy just teleported in front of him and stopped the blade with 2 fingers. Scarface is having a full-on meltdown, realizing he's completely powerless against this dude. Wong Han just stares him down, asking again why he hasn't done it yet. Absolute menace. Scarface is stuttering his ass off, finally realizing he picked a fight with the main character. Our boy just shatters the damn sword with his bare fingers. The delivery boy act is officially buried. The goon and the bestie are both completely bugging out, wondering what kind of anime shit this is. My man lifts him by the throat, calling him worthless trash while the bestie just watches the show. This clown tries to name drop his gang, the Black Dragon Society, like that's supposed to be a threat. Wong Han hits him with the "and so what" before smacking him into next Tuesday. Absolutely savage. And just like that, the last goon is folded on the floor, leaving our boy standing victorious. The goon tries to guilt trip him about the path of crime. Bro, you literally just kidnapped a girl. Our boy is not having any of that weak-ass excuse and just stumps the dude's face in. Scarface is screaming his head off as he gets a free dental rearrangement. That's a wrap, folks. Scarface is on the floor, pulling the "I have an old mom" card to stop the beat down. Pathetic. Our boy gives him 3 seconds before Scarface snitches that the replacement fiancé is after the baby mama. Wong Han is officially pissed, realizing his new wife is in danger. He kicks the goon for not leading with that info. Bro, you gave him 3 seconds. And right on cue, the cops show up to ruin the party. The bestie is now fully dressed, by the way. Our boy tells the bestie to handle the cops and dips out to go save his wife. The cops roll in, trying to calm down the bestie who looks like she's seen it all before. One of the cops flashes his badge, asking for the story. Time for some creative storytelling. The bestie spins a yarn about a home invasion while she was showering. A classic, believable lie. The cops haul away the goons while the bestie watches, having successfully covered our boy's ass. The cops find the two snipers our boy just folded, realizing they ain't your average street thugs. Meanwhile, the replacement fiancé admits he drugged the baby mama before. Bro, this is a whole new level of psycho. The baby mama is trying to get this clown out of her room, but he's still pissed about our boy. And this psycho just lunges at her, officially choosing the go to jail forever speedrun. Then he pins her to the bed, gloating that no one will come to save her. Even mocking the stinking delivery guy for being unable to save himself. And his villain speech is cut short by a shoe rearranging his face, because Wang Han has arrived, sending the creep flying with a perfectly timed kick. Wang Han stands over the creep laying down the law about touching his woman. So of course the rich boy pulls out the classic, "Do you know who my dad is?" card? And our boy's response is basically, "I do not care and he is gonna pay for you." This just prompts another charge with Chin Hao screaming about his rich dad's power, earning him a second kick for his troubles, this time straight to the gut. With the trash officially taken out the window, he calmly tells Su Chi she is safe now, and she melts into his arms completely relieved he showed up, while the loser scrambles away still yelling threats about the delivery guy. But then Wang Han suddenly asks for the time, completely changing the mood. Because he is late for a meeting and invites her to come along, their next stop is a massive skyscraper for some serious business, where they walk into a meeting and Su Chi is greeted as President Liu, so she is the boss, and an assistant is shocked to see him calling him young master before he cuts her off, playing it off like she is just an old classmate, much to Su Chi's surprise. So the assistant just has to roll with it, agreeing it is a total coincidence, and they quickly pivot to business, sitting down for the project meeting. Just then a whole welcoming committee of executives bursts in to greet President Liu, and leading the pack is Su Chi's own grandfather, Elder Su, who apparently rushed over without even eating. He is that hyped for this deal. But then he immediately questions why Su Chi brought a random guy to a high-stakes negotiation. Her dad immediately starts yelling, telling Wang Han to give up his seat and serve drinks. Then some other relative tries to hijack the meeting, telling President Liu to just deal with him. And when Su Chi tries to protest, Grandpa just tells her to get the water already, while her uncle chimes in that she should just focus on getting married, peak family support. But Wang Han finally speaks, asking what right they have to steal her project, which gets the whole table screaming at him for daring to have an opinion. And they start mocking her for dating a delivery guy, even throwing in a fake pregnancy rumor. Grandpa orders her to throw Wang Han out, but she stands up for him, which just makes the old man absolutely lose his mind over her insolence. So Wang Han calls them all shameless, and Grandpa demands to know who this upstart is. And our boy just turns to the assistant, claims Su Chi is his fiancée /U00E9, and says the project is hers. This completely throws the cousin for a loop, who keeps trying to argue she is not qualified. But the assistant shuts it down, saying it is Su Chi or the deal is off. Then she adds the ultimate burn, telling Grandpa he is not qualified to meet her boss. Elder Su is just left sputtering, completely outplayed, and sweating bullets. So the uncle immediately starts groveling, promising the project will go to Su Chi. This assistant then dismisses the entire family, saying she only needs to talk to Su Chi now, leaving the old men to shuffle out of the room with their tails between their legs. And as they go, the cousin gets told to shut his mouth by his own dad, while Wang Han just smirks at the clowns who played themselves, ready to sign the deal. Kicked out of the meeting, the cousin immediately starts whining to his dad, but his father just tells him to chill, because he has got a backup plan. And then he drops a juicy family secret: Su Chi is adopted, which her own father confirms, calling her a total disgrace to the family name. Grandpa immediately starts scheming, asking about her biological parents for leverage, but they are apparently long gone, leaving behind nothing but a worthless pendant. This uncle's grand strategy is to let her do all the work and then steal the project, so creative, and the cousin is all smiles, totally on board with this brilliant act of betrayal. Meanwhile, at a completely different corporate tower, a new player enters the game, where a guy in a slick suit asks two security guards for a light, and the guards are friendly enough asking if he is there for an interview. He deadpans that he is a delivery guy, so they joke about being mortal enemies, but the suit guy just takes a drag, completely unbothered by their little rivalry. Suddenly the guards snap to attention, fawning over the arrival of their company president. And he scoffs at their reaction, so one guard tells him to know his place. Just then, President Liu herself appears, and he greets her as she goes to get the car, leaving the guards starstruck that she even acknowledged them, much to his amusement. One guard gets way too familiar, giving him a condescending lecture on having dreams. And right on cue, his dream pulls up in a red sports car, telling him to get in. He gives the stunned guards a final wave, leaving them to question their entire reality. His guards are left completely speechless as the sports car peels out, and inside President Liu is thrilled, saying he must have a big shot to thank for the project. So he smirks that she'd better thank him properly, then drops that they are getting married tomorrow. She is totally blindsided, but he explains it is just so his kid has a father, a true romantic. Firing back, she tells him his $30,000 a month offer is way too low, and he just scoffs, asking what a delivery guy is worth anyway as they speed off. Their destination is a ridiculously fancy modern mansion, where he teases her for knowing the way, but she just credits her GPS. Just as they are walking up, she has to pause to take a call. And our boy gets one too, the old man reporting the Black Dragon Society stole a shipment. He agrees to handle it, but then the old man pivots, asking about the marriage rumors, which makes Wang Hen flip out, demanding to know who snitched, surprised it was Lin Qingyun. Then comes the classic lecture about all the rich daughters he is ignoring, followed by the ultimate threat his big sister is coming tomorrow, and he completely panics. He hangs up fuming, threatening to pull the old man's oxygen tube, but plays it cool for her, saying it is nothing before they head inside. They walk into the massive, minimalist living room, where she notices a card in his pocket and asks what it is, though he just brushes it off as a greeting card and says he is starving. Taking his jacket, she sits down, thinking that maybe having a house husband is not so bad after all. Wang Hen plays the perfect house husband, telling her to relax while he cooks, and he fully commits to the bit, calling himself a kept man for his wife. Leaving Su Qi completely speechless at this sudden domestic bliss, this next day it is off to a government building for some official business. And just like that, they walk out officially married, mission accomplished. She asks if he is going back to delivering food, but he jokes about hitting on girls now, which earns him a huffy walk-off that he clearly finds hilarious. But then it is back to work, time to handle that task from the old man. And his destination is the swanky headquarters of the Black Dragon Group. Turns out the Black Dragon Society went corporate, upgrading from street gang to shady business, running all the classics like loan sharking, and he is here to crash the party. In the lobby, two goons at a desk ask him what he is here for, so our boy just coolly announces he is here to collect a debt. They think he is a customer until he clarifies the debt is from their boss, Baldy Liu, which prompts the standard "you are tired of living" speech as they charge, and the first guy throws a punch that was absolutely doomed from the start. Wang Hen blocks it without even looking, already lining up a counter kick, which sends the goon flying through the air. One down, his buddy charges in next, completely failing to read the room, earning a beautiful kick straight to the jaw for his troubles, with the lobby goons officially redecorated. Wang Hen calmly asked to be taken to the boss, Baldy Liu. Upstairs, said boss is in the middle of some very important sleazy business, and his guest seems to be enjoying the flavor of his wine. Baldy Liu promises to fill her up later, a true gentleman of culture, but their quality time is interrupted by a tattooed goon bursting in, which makes the boss furious, yelling about who dares enter his territory. This poor guy is terrified, trying to explain who just showed up. But Wang Hen makes his own entrance, yeeting another minion through the door, delivering the unconscious goon right to Baldy Liu's feet. This boss pulls a gun, absolutely losing his mind over this disrespect, so Wang Hen just casually flicks a little something his way, which embeds itself in the desk, leaving the boss totally confused. Then he recognizes the black card and the tough guy act instantly vanishes. His own man confirms it is from the 10 Elders Society, a group you do not mess with. And our boy just smirks, glad they are finally on the same page. Baldy Liu immediately drops to his knees as the goon names Wang Hen the ninth prince, and suddenly he is begging for orders, his whole demeanor flipped upside down, even gets the honor of lighting Wang Hen's cigarette. What a promotion. Wang Hen finally mentions the stolen shipment and suddenly it is all just a big misunderstanding. Wang Hen casually lectures him on the poor life choice of stealing from the 10 elders, dropping a classic edgy line about how the black card executes even gods and ghosts, but Baldy Liu suddenly finds his spine, pulling the gun again and blaming Wang Hen for his own bad choices. In response, our boy just flicks his cigarette but with impossible speed, which hits the gun with enough force to shatter it in the boss's hands, a real party trick. He then calmly states a simple fact: everyone who has ever pointed a gun at him is now dead, and with a single swipe he uses the card to end the conversation permanently, sending the now former boss collapsing to the floor. His lady friend screams murder, while the tattooed goon just stares, processing the sudden job opening. This tattooed underling cannot believe his boss was just taken out so easily, and the backup arriving in the hall is equally stunned by the news. This whole crew is here now, staring at their former leader on the floor. Wang Hen grabs the tattooed goon, offering a simple choice: become the new boss or join the old one. Unsurprisingly, the guy picks promotion and immediately pledges his loyalty, with the whole gang following suit. Satisfied with the hostile takeover, Wang Hen just tells them to get his goods, and just like that another successful corporate restructuring is complete. Meanwhile, some old dude with a head injury is marching toward the building. Ignoring his subordinates' warnings about Wang Hen, he storms right up to the entrance. demanding to see the boss of the Black Dragon Society. His brilliant plan is to pay Baldy Lou any price to kill that delivery guy. Talk about bad timing. Except upstairs a completely different guy is telling everyone he is in charge now and they are calling him Brother Long. This bandaged uncle storms right in, yelling for a boss who is very unavailable, and he is still demanding to see Boss Lou, completely oblivious to the recent restructuring. So the new tattooed boss clarifies that Lou's position has been vacated permanently, without missing a beat. The uncle offers this new guy 50 million to take care of someone, and his high priority target is, you guessed it, a food delivery guy. Brother Long is skeptical, thinking this rich kid is pulling his leg about a $50 million hit on a nobody, but the uncle is dead serious, raving that this guy beat him up and stole his woman, which is just music to the new boss's ears. A big payday on his first day. This client has one special request: he wants to watch the guy die with his own eyes. And with that, Brother Long rallies the troops to go get revenge for their new best friend. Meanwhile, Wang Hen is back in his delivery uniform getting ready for a shift, and he casually waves goodbye to his co-workers hopping on his sport bike. He takes a cool drag from his cigarette, totally unaware of the posse heading his way. Suddenly a black van cuts him off hard in the middle of the street. It is the bandaged uncle leaning out with a pipe and a face full of misplaced confidence. Wang Hen just stops his bike, looking more annoyed than anything else. This uncle launches into a rage-fueled speech vowing to make him kneel and cry, then charges forward swinging his lead pipe with everything he has got. In response, Wang Hen just flicks his fingers, sending a little something to shut him up, and follows it with a knee to the gut, asking who was supposed to be kneeling now. Wang Hen repeats the uncle's threat right back at him, and just like that the guy is forced to his knees on the pavement. This uncle, not one for self-preservation, starts screaming at his hired help to do their job, but our boy just casually lights a cigarette as the whole crew piles out of the van. This new boss, Brother Long, smirks, saying he is curious to see how tough a delivery guy can be, while his client demands they make Wang Hen wish he were dead. A real charmer. Brother Long gets way too familiar, putting a hand on Wang Hen's shoulder, which is a move with a notoriously short life expectancy around our boy. Wang Hen immediately asks who he is calling friend while twisting his arm into a pretzel, then scolds him for getting arrogant 5 minutes into his new management position. This new boss suddenly recognizes him, panicking and calling him the Ninth Prince, which leaves the bandaged uncle totally baffled by this sudden change in tone. So Brother Long, furious at being set up, delivers a swift kick to his now former client, sending the dude flying for the second time in as many minutes. Wang Hen puts his foot on the uncle's chest, giving him one final warning not to provoke him, and as the guy sweats buckets, our boy has one last thing to add, a little PSA that Su Chi is his wife and next time he will not be so lucky. With that business handled, he checks his phone, annoyed he is going to be late for work. This uncle, still not reading the room, yells at Brother Long for failing to take out one guy, who just explains that this is one delivery guy you absolutely cannot afford to mess with. Back on the clock, Wang Hen pulls up to a seriously sketchy apartment complex for delivery, and the inside is even worse, a real 5-star dump, so he just gets on with it, knocking on the customer's door. A guy who looks like he has been awake for a month answers, paying with cash, but Wang Hen immediately senses something is very wrong here, and his gut was right. A woman in the background screams for help. Her captor immediately smacks her, telling her to shut up while his buddy watches, and the first goon tries to play it off, telling our boy to get lost, but his partner is not so calm, deciding they need to get rid of the witness. Wang Hen cannot believe his luck, stumbling into a kidnapping on a routine delivery, and the first guy charges out ready to make a huge mistake, which earns him a swift kick right back into the apartment. One down. Our boy is just so annoyed he has to get physical over a 20 yuan order. This second goon, now holding a machete, realizes this is no ordinary delivery guy, so he charges forward, screaming about sending Wang Hen to hell for being a busybody, only to have his attack stopped with one hand getting roasted for his terrible form, followed by a quick arm twist and a punch straight to the face, which sends him flying as the captive now begs Wang Hen to save her. Wang Hen just casually kicks the door shut, ready to finish this up, looking completely unfazed. Just another Tuesday for the Ninth Prince. With the kidnappers handled, the captive girl begs Wang Hen to save her, so he calmly unties her, asking if she is okay to walk, then drapes his jacket over her shoulders. A true professional, he has already called the police and hands her a phone to call her family, and now it is time for some light housekeeping like tying up the trash. These two goons get a front row seat to a lecture on their poor career choices, after which the woman introduces herself as Zia Weining and thanks him profusely, but the name Wang Hen makes her freeze up completely. She just silently hands him her phone, much to his confusion, and suddenly he is on the line with a woman yelling about him getting married secretly, forcing him to stammer an explanation to his big sister that he is on his way, who promptly hangs up on him because family is just the best. At that moment, an old man with bodyguards bursts in yelling for Weining, and it is her dad arriving to find his daughter safe next to a random guy and two tied up goons. He rushes over to hug her, frantic with worry, but she just points to Wang Hen, explaining this big brother saved her life. so Wang Hen just tells the cops to take the criminals he thinks he knocked out. This father offers his sincere thanks and our boy just confirms it was him, no big deal, which makes the old man realize this is no ordinary delivery guy. He is sensing a master's aura, and he pegs him as a grandmaster, offering his business card for any future trouble in the city. Wang Hen politely accepts the card from the martial arts master, promising to visit, but he immediately turns down a cushy job offered to be the guy's personal muscle, leaving the old man wishing he could have recruited such a promising young hero. Downstairs, our boy heads back to his bike as the cops handle the kidnapping aftermath, muttering about all the trouble one delivery caused before deciding to go find Suchi. He peels out of there, leaving the whole mess in his rearview mirror, and pulls up to a massive corporate skyscraper. A little while later, inside, some guy in a suit is telling a woman named Nan, and he flew all the way back from abroad to save her from a crisis, but Shi Linging Pang's target of affection shuts him down cold. Help not needed, thanks. This dude then lays on a guilt trip about rejecting other women for her, so she tells him to back off and use her full name, Suchi. His next brilliant move is to grab her arm, begging her to be his woman, a real class act. Suchi shoves him off, dropping the ultimate combo breaker: she is married and pregnant. This news absolutely shatters his fragile little world, and right on cue Wang Hen walks in, casually noting his growing list of rivals. The suitor immediately tries to pull rank, yelling at this employee for interrupting a very important rejection. So Wang Hen just holds up lunch for his pregnant wife, and Suchi proudly introduces her husband. Our boy is just basking in the warm fuzzy feeling of being called husband for the first time, which sends the other guy into a full-on soul-crushing meltdown. Wang Hen just calmly points him to the exit, explaining that he and his wife would like some privacy, then turns his back, leaving the fuming third wheel to process his spectacular failure. This rejected suitor storms out, vowing revenge, while Suchi tells Wang Hen to fire the front desk, and our boy just smugly comments on how weak his rival was. But Suchi clarifies he cannot be a rival if there were never any feelings involved. He just smiles, taking her point as she gets ready for lunch, only for him to suddenly snatch one of the food containers away, teasing that if they have no feelings for each other then she gets no food. She immediately plays the pregnancy card, reminding him he is obligated to feed her, and after one bite she has to admit his cooking is incredible. Suchi even offers to fund a restaurant, but he scoffs that not just anyone is worthy of his cooking, which prompts her to ask just how many other women he has cooked for. He tries to play it smooth, insisting he is only cooking for the baby, not her, so she changes the subject, asking why he is not in his delivery uniform. His brilliant explanation is that he lent his clothes to a sexy girl he rescued, which earns him an immediate eviction notice from a very unimpressed Suchi. He tries to lecture her about pregnant women staying calm right as the door slams in his face. From inside, she yells at him to go deliver food to his new sexy girl instead, and she is still fuming for a moment before checking her phone. It is a text from kid's dad saying he is off to earn money for baby formula. A follow-up text invites her to dinner as the child's father, and she cannot help but smile. Outside, Wang Hen just sighs, calling her a stubborn woman before heading out. Wang Hen just smirks, much preferring husband to child's father, and with that ego boost he is off to his next destination. Speeding through the streets on his trusty delivery bike, he pulls up to a fancy villa, clearly not here for a food order, and walks in with a woman named Enian right into a lecture from her aunt. Enian immediately drops the bomb that they are married, so deal with it, which sends the aunt into a spiral over her marrying a delivery guy. But Enian stands her ground, insisting she knows exactly what she is doing, right as two more men arrive to try and de-escalate the family drama, one of whom gives a suspiciously warm welcome to his new brother-in-law. They send the couple upstairs to change, leaving the rest of the family to plot, and the aunt immediately asks her nephew if he is just going to let this happen. He is already called for backup. This two of them are absolutely delighted at the thought of teaching this trash a lesson, and their muscle arrives, a portly dude introduced as young Master Chin. The Sula character promises him a surprise for coming on such short notice, just as Enian and Wang Hen come back downstairs to find the unwanted guest, and she immediately asks what this guy is doing at a family dinner. This aunt just brushes her off, demanding she sit next to young Master Chin, but Enian points out the very obvious problem: there is only one chair left. A man at the table clarifies that is because riffraff do not get to sit with the Su family. Wang Hen just asks why he cannot sit, and the family tells him to know his place, until the head of the table shuts them down. If you do not have a chair, squat. Enian immediately offers her seat to Wang Hen, ready to stand for him, which makes her dad slam the table, ordering her to sit with young Master Chin. But one cold hard stare from Wang Hen has their honored guest sweating buckets, and suddenly young Master Chin is politely offering up his own chair. Problem solved. This aunt is absolutely scandalized that he would give his seat to a peasant, but Chin insists, practically forcing Wang Hen to sit down before he gets hurt. Our boy then drops a bomb, telling kid's mom to sit down because she is pregnant, and proceeds to serve her food, leaving the entire family speechless. Meanwhile, Sula pulls young Master Chin aside, promising a special surprise. while Wang Hen and Enian just try to enjoy their meal amidst the chaos. This big surprise, Sula drug Enian's wine so Chin could have her what a great cousin. Young Master Chin is not thrilled realizing this idiot is trying to get him killed, so he immediately screams a warning about the knockout drug in the wine. Enian is stunned and Chin wastes no time pointing the finger straight at Sula, which earns the scumbag a face full of wine from a very angry Enian. Sula is just left sputtering, covered in the evidence of his failed creepy plan, and Wang Hen gets up cracking his knuckles ready to do some housekeeping. A swift punch sends Sula reeling. Family dinner is officially over. Wang Hen stands over the loser, giving him one last very clear warning about touching his wife, and with Enian calling the place filthy they just step over the body and leave, leaving the rest of the family to tend to their bruised and humiliated cousin. Later, driving in a sports car, Enian demands an explanation for the night's events, specifically asking why young Master Chin was so terrified of him, to which Wang Hen gives a smug non-answer about how some people just need a good slap. She calls him out for bragging, gently reminding him his status is a real problem for her family, but he just scoffs, claiming his family's rules are way stricter than hers. That bravado vanishes the second he gets a text, his face dropping in pure panic, because Big Sister has arrived and given him a 10-minute countdown to show up. They speed over to a sleek modern apartment building, with Enian wondering who on earth could have him this spooked. He warns her to be on her best behavior, which she finds pretty funny coming from a delivery guy, but our boy is dead serious, telling her not to mess this up. They walk in to find a woman in a blue dress smoking and radiating an aura of absolute authority, and Wang Hen immediately switches to a cheerful doting little brother routine, but his sister Rao Rushuang is clearly not impressed by the act. Her first word to him is a single ice-cold command, kneel. To Enian's absolute shock, the unstoppable master immediately hits the floor, and then Big Sister turns to her, inviting her to join the party. Wang Hen tries to play the pregnancy card, insisting Enian cannot kneel, but Enian steps in herself, earning a very skeptical look from Big Sister. This sister gives a long unimpressed stare, clearly not buying it for a second, and her response is to just kick Wang Hen across the room for his bad habits. He is on the floor trying to plead his case, but she is not listening at all. She lays down the law. Family punishment comes before any explanations, but Enian jumps in front of him, shielding him from any more discipline. She goes full mama bear, calling out the sister for being completely unreasonable. Big Sister calmly lists the family virtues, asking which one Enian thinks he broke. Then she drops the charges: secret marriage, premarital pregnancy, and marrying someone unworthy. Enian is absolutely furious, demanding to know who exactly is worthy then, so Big Sister just casually lists the 4 ultra-powerful fiancé /U00E9S he already rejected. Wang Hen tries to play peacemaker, reminding his sister again about the pregnancy, but Enian suddenly tells them both to drop the act. She thinks she has figured it out. This whole thing is just a childish play between them. She accuses Wang Hen of faking the entire powerful family drama because he is insecure. He insists it is all real, but he is done with the drama and does not want his kid in this mess. With that, he tells Enian he will find her after the baby is born, and she just walks out. He warns his sister not to chase after her, reminding her that Enian is carrying his child. His sister just scoffs, dismissing Enian before revealing she is here on a mission from the old man. His sister hands him a bead, revealing it is a token for yet another arranged marriage, and Wang Hen is just staring at it like, hello, already married here. But one death glare later, he is promising to obey the old man's orders, no questions asked. Meanwhile, Enian has taken refuge at her friend Zufu's swanky villa, where Zufu gently suggests that maybe Wang Hen was not faking his whole powerful family act. Enian scoffs, completely convinced he just hired an actress to play his big sister, but her friend brings up a solid point. You know the trope about secret tycoons disguised as delivery guys. This sudden defense of Wang Hen makes Enian extremely suspicious, and she immediately accuses her friend of hiding something from her. This interrogation quickly devolves into a tickle fight, because of course it does. Once they settle down, Enian asks for an update on contacting a certain big shot, and right on cue there is a knock at the bedroom door. In walks some guy in a suit, Lin Jingping, looking way too pleased with himself, who just happens to know the exact big shot they were talking about. He is talking about the billionaire, who just dropped a fortune on the new district project, and he offers to personally introduce Enian to him. What a coincidence. Elsewhere, Wang Hen is on a balcony fuming that Su Qi is ignoring his calls, but his mood shifts when he gets a new text message. He gets his hopes up for a second, thinking it is Su Qi, only to be immediately let down. It is just the girl he rescued, asking where to return his clothes, and he bluntly tells her to just throw them out. Wang Hen is left holding the marriage bead, wondering how to find this new fiancé, but his thoughts are shattered by a phone call. His subordinate Tai Tu is dead. He is stunned to hear the man drowned while heroically saving others, and back in her room the girl he rescued is crushed. He told her to just throw his clothes out. She is already spiraling, wondering if she will ever see her mysterious savior again, right as her dad barges in, asking why she is so mopey. He insists he knocked, clearly trying to figure out what is on her mind before ordering her to attend the Zhou family's young master's birthday party for him. she immediately refuses, disgusted by the guy who was saved from drowning and then insulted his rescuer, so her dad pivots, asking if she ever contacted that delivery kid. She just tells him Wang Han wanted the clothes thrown away, looking defeated in her dad's eyes, accepting that his matchmaking attempt was a total bust. Meanwhile, Wang Han arrives at the Taishan Grand Hotel looking ready for business. Stepping out of a nondescript van like he owns the place, a whole crew is waiting for him, including guys called Blind Men and Smiling Buddha. Real subtle, they all greet their boss, ready to move on his command. Just then a fancy white car pulls up to the same hotel entrance and the girl from before gets out, spotting a familiar looking back in the distance. She quickly dismisses it, telling herself she must be mistaken. While inside, the birthday boy gives a speech about surviving his near-death experience. This birthday boy, Zhou Feiyu, gives a speech about how his good fate saved him, not the guy who died. He then shows off a 9-layer cake because that is what is truly important here, but a reporter crashes the party asking for a comment on the hero who drowned for his sake. His polite facade instantly cracks, demanding to know who let her in. On his command, security swarms the reporter and starts dragging her away. He even lands a kick, still screaming that he survived because he is just that special. Meanwhile, the girl Wang Han rescued arrives just in time to see this charming display. She is absolutely disgusted, but her escort tells her to stay out of it. Zhou Feiyu pins the reporter to the floor with his foot, ready to teach her some manners. He raises his leg for a full-on stomp, threatening to kill her for asking a question, when a shoe suddenly flies right at his head, interrupting his little tantrum. It makes perfect contact, sending the scumbag tumbling backwards. He hits the floor in a daze, wondering what just happened. Wang Hen and his crew are here, asking who exactly he planned on killing today. This rescued girl is thrilled, realizing her brother Wang has shown up. From the ground, Zhou Feiyu just orders his men to attack the newcomers. His goons pull out batons, ready to defend their boss's right to be a monster, but Smiling Buddha just tells the first guy to get lost with a single effortless kick. One goon is already down for the count, completely neutralized, and another of Wang Han's crew takes down a second attacker with zero effort. One of Wang Han's guys drops a goon with a single brutal kick, while another sends a second goon flying with a clean right hook. This whole crew just stands there over the wreckage, not even breaking a sweat. Zhou Feiyu finally finds his voice, demanding to know who these people are. So Wang Han calmly lights a smoke, explaining his subordinate Tai Tu died saving people for nothing, and hearing this birthday boy call that sacrifice foolish really bothers him, but our villain just doubles down, screaming that his rich life is obviously more valuable. Then he calls in a whole new wave of goons to prove his point. Unfazed, Wang Han offers one chance apologize at Tai Tu's grave. Zhou Feiyu's response is predictable. He orders his men to kill them all with a sigh. Wang Han picks up a chair, noting the offer has officially expired. He brings it down with some serious force, sending the birthday boy face first into his own 9-layer cake. Covered in frosting, Zhou Feiyu can only sputter in rage from the floor, as Wang Han looms over him, confirming that second chances are now off the table. A swift kick to the face follows just for good measure. On the ground, the villain is still trying to process how some hick is doing this to him. Just then, two distinguished-looking gentlemen arrive on the scene, one named Zhou Xinghui. This birthday boy immediately starts crying for his dad to save him. Well, this is getting good. Daddy Dearest just points at Wang Han, ordering his bodyguard to kill him. This rescued girl begs her bodyguard to save Wang Han, who is apparently in danger. So this Grandmaster bodyguard leaps in with a flaming fist, calling our boy an arrogant brat, but Wang Han just casually catches the punch like it is absolutely nothing, and the bodyguard is completely frozen, his ultimate move totally shut down. Smiling Buddha then steps into play, grabbing the guy's wrist with a grin, unleashing a move called Immortal Caresses the Peak, which is just a fancy way of slamming the guy's head into the floor. Daddy Dearest is just stunned, wondering what happened to his top muscle, while the defeated bodyguard recognizes the technique, realizing they are up against the Gu family. Suddenly the dad's all smiles and apologies, trying to de-escalate with the friends from Hong Kong, but Wang Han is not having it, reminding him his son already blew his chance, so the dad pivots to bribery, offering a measly 1 million for the dead mechanic's life, which earns him a boot to the chest as Wang Han roars that his brother's life is not for sale. He grabs the old man by the collar, absolutely livid at the disrespect, but incredibly the dad just laughs it off, saying a mechanic's life is cheap. Wang Han threatens to bankrupt his entire family and the dad basically dares him to do it, so his assistant makes one simple phone call: crash all Zhou family businesses now. This old man is still laughing, asking if they are filming a movie. The denial is real, and right on cue a panicked employee bursts in with some very bad news. Turns out all their partners have belayed and their factories are shut down by the South China Lei clan, and just then some new big shot from the Lei clan shows up with a wink, making Daddy Dearest immediately switch to full-on bootlicker mode, and now he is on his knees screaming at his son to apologize for the misunderstanding, but Wang Han puts a foot on his back, clarifying there is no misunderstanding at all. This old man desperately tries to name-drop his brother in the military headquarters, so our boy just smirks, telling Blind Man to make a call of his own. One quick check on the Zhou family's military connection is all it takes. and blind man gets right on it looking bored as ever. Wang Hen just tells them he is taking the kid, consequences be damned, while the birthday boy is dragged away still screaming for his uncle to save him. This dad gets a call and smirks thinking his powerful brother is on the line, except it is his brother screaming that they have messed with a military big shot. Now the uncle is getting stripped of his rank and the dad is just speechless. Next stop on this apology tour, the cemetery. They are at Taitu's grave ready to pay proper respects, and the birthday boy is ordered to get on his knees, still whining about his rights as Wang Hen shoves him down. Our boy just orders him to kowtow and apologize properly, and a foot to the head ensures he bows with appropriate enthusiasm. With the apology delivered, the crew pours one out for their fallen brother. Meanwhile, a woman named Nanan visits a grave paying respects to her grandma and a brother, and she confesses to the tombstone that she is pregnant by a delivery guy her family hates, while also ranting about some other guy who faked being rich. Grandma was right, men are trash. Changing the subject, she mentions a kind benefactor who recently saved her from a crisis, leaving her grandma's favorite snacks as an offering on the headstone. As the rain starts pouring, she says her goodbyes, promising to visit again soon. An assistant is already waiting with an umbrella to escort her to a nearby car. Inside, she is bickering with her cousin and a friend about the sudden downpour, but their argument is cut short when a massive limo blocks their path out of nowhere. This cousin starts screaming about which suicidal maniac is in his way. Just as a whole crew of men in black suits and umbrellas emerge from the luxury car, they are all there to respectfully greet their young master, who is Wang Hen. Standing in the rain, he gives orders to make arrangements for Taitu's orphan daughter. From the other car, Nanan's friend spots him, asking if that is the guy she knows. Nanan is just stunned, wondering what on earth he is doing at a cemetery. Then she sees the big shot from the Lei clan, the guy from the hotel, opening the car door for him. Her friend is absolutely losing it, asking who that VIP is, but Nanan has no idea. This cousin, however, recognizes him immediately. It is the crown prince of the Lei clan. With their business done, Wang Hen's entire motorcade pulls away, heading for Taitu's house. Her friend is still reeling, telling Nanan to call him because this is clearly not just some delivery guy. Nanan flatly refuses to call him, saying it is impossible, so her cousin just blames the rain, changing the subject to a big shot she needs to meet, and he gives a seriously slimy smile, confirming it is all arranged. As they drive away, the plan is set to introduce her in 2 days. Meanwhile, Wang Hen's crew arrives at a quiet apartment complex, confirming with the boss that this should be Taitu's place. Wang Hen approaches an old man sleeping on a bench, asking if this is the right house, but the grandpa has no idea who Iron Head is. Total confusion. Our boy clarifies using his fallen brother's real name, Chen Qiang. That name rings a bell, and the old man points them upstairs, asking if they are here for the inheritance, then mutters that his greedy relatives have already seized the apartment. At the top of the stairs, they find a little girl squatting all alone in the hallway. One of the crew is already seething as Wang Hen gently asks if this is her home, and she just says her dad went to a faraway place, which is absolutely heartbreaking. These guys are floored. This is Taitu's orphan daughter. Wang Hen asks why she is not inside, and she explains her aunt and uncle will not let her in, then points to a cardboard box, saying her auntie told her that is asterisk her home now. Lineman is absolutely livid, calling them shameless for making a kid live like an animal, so he just kicks the front door right off its hinges. Inside, 2 relatives are enjoying a seafood feast, completely unaware their meal is about to be interrupted. This uncle screams about his door being kicked in, clearly interrupted from his very important meal, so Wang Hen calmly asks when exactly Taitu's apartment became his property, and this guy actually threatens to call the cops, prompting Wang Hen to ask if he is even human, which earns him a swift knee to the gut for his troubles, sending him and his entire seafood dinner flying across the room. With the trash handled, Wang Hen tells Smiling Buddha to give them a proper welcome, and Smiling Buddha is more than happy to oblige, cracking his knuckles with a grin, delivering a very thorough one-sided beatdown to the screaming relative. After a quick attitude adjustment, they are suddenly begging for mercy as Wang Hen asks the little girl her name. Gyu. Blind man points out the obvious, leaving her with these monsters is a death sentence, so Wang Hen just asks Gyu if she wants to come live with them, and she immediately says yes. He then tries to volunteer blind man for parenting duty, who panics, saying he is a killer, not a babysitter, but it is too late. The little girl has already chosen her new guardian, tugging on his jacket. Blind man immediately pivots, telling her to call Wang Hen godfather, and just like that it is official, leaving our boy to just smirk at how he became a dad only days after getting married. This next day, we cut to a much nicer apartment complex, and there is Wang Hen in an apron serving his new daughter breakfast before school, who seems to be having the time of her life while he is busy texting, trying to get Nan to eat, but she is still furious, telling him to stay away until her baby is born. He just sighs about her temper as Gyu happily announces she is finished and ready to go. Wang Hen plays the part, agreeing to take his new daughter to school, and of course it is some ridiculously fancy private academy, where he gives her the classic study hard pep talk, all thanks to Uncle Lei. Then they head into the principal's office for the official welcome. meeting the principal and a certain teacher Zia, and Wang Han is completely stunned because he definitely knows that teacher. She is just as surprised, happily calling out to brother Wang, then immediately asks if the little girl is his daughter, so he just rolls with it, patting her head like a proud papa. This principal, seeing they are old friends, conveniently delegates the tour to her. With Gyu in good hands, Wang Han says his goodbyes to go work, and the little girl waves him off, calling him godfather, while he promises to pick her up later with a smile. This teacher immediately starts prying, asking if he is her real dad, but she is all sympathy after Gyu explains her real dad is in heaven. Outside, Wang Han sits on his bike, already complaining that being a dad is hard. Just then his phone rings. It is a woman asking if her bastard missed her, and he is instantly flustered, asking this eldest princess how she got his number. She orders him to get ready for her visit tomorrow, but he tries to shut it down, saying he is married, which means absolutely nothing to her since she already knows his wife's name. Wang Han is absolutely losing it. This princess investigated him and is coming tomorrow, and of course she hangs up on him before he can argue. This next morning he is back on dad duty, dropping Gyu off at school. Deciding he should probably give his pregnant wife a heads up about the incoming chaos, he texts Nan to ignore a woman with a ponytail, but she just assumes it is another hired actor, leaving him to sigh about how complicated women are before lighting up. Back on the bike, he is just another delivery guy worried about being late, and his next stop is some ridiculously opulent mansion. Our boy cannot help but be a little impressed by the sheer scale of the place, then rings the bell announcing the food delivery has arrived. He offers the pizza box with a polite smile as the door opens, but the woman who answers is a very familiar, very surprised face. Wang Han just plays it cool, calling it a coincidence with a smug little grin, while she dismisses him to her friends as just the delivery guy. Her friend comes over recognizing him, so the woman admits they were junior high classmates, which only confuses the friend who has absolutely no memory of him, so he gives a fake name, Zhang Wei, claiming he was just a forgettable nobody, but a guy in a suit immediately calls him out. There was no Zhang Wei in their class. This new guy then scoffs at the very idea of a former classmate working as a delivery driver, even questioning why a big boss like her would ever know such a person. This suit-wearing clown lectures him about the massive gap between the rich and poor, then pulls out his wallet, asking why the delivery boy is still standing there. With a smug grin, he offers a couple hundred as a reward. What a philanthropist. Wang Han is barely holding back while the guy asks if his generous tip is too small. Our boy just smiles, pockets the cash, and thanks the boss for his kindness. At that moment, a woman comes downstairs asking if her pizza has arrived, and it is teacher Zia, who was absolutely shocked to see brother Wang at her door. He plays it off with a nervous smile, calling it a total coincidence. This suit is baffled. She knows a delivery guy, but she calls Wang Han her savior. She invites him into rest, but he politely declines, saying he has more orders. Her friend jumps in, mocking him for needing to work, which gets him a sharp rebuke. Wang Han tries to dip out, but teacher Zia runs after him, calling his name. She asks for a ride to work, putting him in a seriously awkward position. This rich friends protest, calling his beat-up scooter dangerous and offering a Porsche instead, except it is not a scooter, it is a high-end sport bike, and everyone is stunned silent. This redhead just glares at her friend completely over his pathetic attempts to show off, so teacher Zia hops on the back, waving goodbye as they prepare to leave. They speed away from the opulent mansion, leaving the others in their dust. Back on the porch, the suit tries to get his date to eat, but her mood is ruined. She just blows him off, claiming she has urgent work, and walks away alone. They are tearing through the city streets on his bike, and he checks if he is going too fast for her, but teacher Zia is just enjoying the ride, holding on tight. Suddenly a familiar red sports car pulls up alongside them. It is her rich friend trying to get her to ditch the bike for a luxury car. Our boy immediately tries to pawn her off, not wanting any more trouble, so teacher Zia thanks him by asking him out to dinner this weekend. He gives the classic "I am busy" excuse, desperate to get away. Speeding off while she waves him a friendly goodbye, Wang Han just mutters that he cannot handle women. The stress is real. Later that evening, he is back on dad duty, walking Guagua home, promising to cook for her as she happily calls him dad. But when they get to his apartment, they find a pair of strange high heels at the door. Steam is pouring out from behind the bathroom door, and out walks the eldest princess in a towel, asking why he is so late. Wang Han immediately covers Guagua's eyes, telling her to get dressed, but the princess just coolly asks who the little girl is. He declares she is his daughter, trying to prove he is a married man, which prompts this woman to tell Guagua to call her mom, and Wang Han absolutely loses it, screaming at her audacity. Wang Han immediately tells the princess not to mess with the kid, but she just leans in and introduces herself as Guagua's new mom, so he quickly sends the little girl off to do her homework, leaving the two of them alone in a very tense living room. This princess immediately gets handsy, accusing him of getting married behind her. Back in Our Boy yelps that was a very personal, very painful attack. She follows up with a high kick, asking if he missed this kind of attention, while he just screams at her to put on some actual clothes. Completely flustered, unfazed, she just sits back and threatens him for daring to marry someone else. Wang Han tries to be the bigger person, tossing her a jacket and repeating that he is married, but she already knows all about his shotgun wedding to Suchi. He just cuts to the chase, asking how long she plans on staying, and she lays out her 2 reasons finding him in a business deal. A wave of relief hits Wang Han, at least she's not here to bother his wife. He tries to pivot to dinner, hoping to distract her with food, which only earns him a sarcastic jab about his new dad life. She gets right back in his face, grabbing his jacket to make a point, then calls him out for acting like a monk around her, and only her. Just then Guogwa reappears, tugging on her dress and saying she is hungry, and the poor kid immediately covers her eyes at whatever she just walked in on. Wang Han tries to shut down the drama, telling her to stop messing around so they can eat, then grabs Guogwa's hand, threatening to leave the princess behind for a dad-daughter meal, but she just smirks, promising he will be hers eventually. Zero boundaries, all confidence, so they head out to some ridiculously high-end restaurant in the city, where the princess immediately starts playing mom, offering to buy Guogwa anything. And she quickly corrects the kid, it is godmother not auntie, a total power move. They're led to a massive private room, which Wang Han just dismisses with a casual "it'll do." This princess immediately starts teasing him about being a reluctant godfather, earning a sharp rebuke, while in another room 2 shady businessmen are meeting with a certain brother Lei. His lackey reports that some big project got snatched and it is somehow tied to a Lin Qingyan, revealing the project is now controlled by none other than Wang Han's wife Suchi. This brother Lei hatches a scummy plan, dig up dirt on Suchi and her delivery guy husband to ruin her. His goon loves the idea. Just as a waiter walks in to serve their table and brother Lei does a double take, the waiter looks suspiciously like the guy who outbid him. His buddy scoffs, saying it cannot possibly be Suchi's husband, but decides to check anyway, peeking out the door to see Wang Han, Gui and the princess having a lavish dinner. It is a perfect little family scene, with the princess doting on the kid with a chicken leg, and the spy just grins, realizing he has struck blackmail gold. What a show. After dinner the princess walks them out, promising another family outing soon, but later she is back at his apartment building, wondering why he is not answering his phone. Wang Han tries to play it cool, telling Guogwa to do her homework when they get back, but his wife Suchi is standing right there, completely blindsided by the scene. This tension just hangs in the air for a beat, and the princess immediately introduces herself, putting on a very friendly face for Suchi. Wang Han scrambles with the worst lie ever, claiming the princess is some distant cousin in town for business. This whole crew just stands there awkwardly, with the princess trying to make a quick exit, but Suchi's suspicious glare says she is absolutely not buying a word of this. Desperate to keep the peace, Wang Han quickly invites the princess to stay for a meal. This princess immediately pokes a hole in his story, asking why a married couple is not living together, so Suchi calls his bluff, telling him to open the door, and he has no choice but to obey. Our boy is now stuck between 2 women, ready for war. Realizing this is a certified battlefield, he tries to defuse the situation by sending Guogwa to her room and volunteering to cook. Left alone, Suchi immediately starts interrogating the princess about his newfound cooking skills. She mentions he only ever cooked for her, which prompts the princess to demand a taste too. And Wang Han points out she just ate a massive dinner, but that is clearly not the point. With a dramatic stretch, the princess just declares she is hungry again, completely shameless. Suchi's patience is clearly wearing thin, telling her to just act normal for once. Then she offers the sister some water with a smile that could cut glass, but the princess fires back that Suchi is younger and should be calling her big sister. Completely unbothered, she just leans back and asks when dinner will finally be ready. Wang Han serves up some noodles, trying his best to play diplomat in this war zone. And Suchi just stares at the bowl, the silence absolutely deafening. Of course, the princess immediately starts trouble, getting way too close for comfort. But Suchi just ignores her, calmly starting on her meal. Then she drops a tactical nuke, claiming she is pregnant and needs vinegar, a total power play. While the princess is reeling, Wang Han threatens her to just eat, but she is not backing down. At that moment, Guogu appears, asking for a story. Perfect timing, kid. This princess immediately tries to co-opt the kid, offering a story from mom. But Guogu politely calls her auntie, which gets an instant demanding correction. She even tries bribing her with candy for the title, a truly desperate play. Suchi calmly tells her to quit it, savoring every second of this failure. Calling the kid over, Suchi officially enters the "Who is the real mom" contest. She looks Guogu right in the eye and tells her to call her mom, a stone-cold finisher. This poor kid is just stunned into silence, caught in this domestic crossfire, and Wang Han is just standing there with a bowl, the absolute picture of uselessness. Finally, Guogu makes her choice, calling Suchi mom and sealing the victory for team wife. With a polite "take your time," Suchi leads the kid away, leaving the princess to her cold noodles. Wang Han just tells her to eat, and she grumpily agrees, having lost this round completely. Later, he sets the ground rules for sleeping. She gets a room, he is on the couch. But the princess cannot resist one last jab, asking why a married couple sleeps apart. Wang Han just tells her to eat and go to sleep, completely over the drama for one night. But then Su-chi appears, telling him to go to bed, and he meekly obeys, which has the princess fuming that she has never seen him so compliant before. This next morning arrives, all bright and deceptively peaceful, until you see Wang Han doing a casual handstand on the balcony railing, as one does. And Su-chi just calmly tells him breakfast is ready, not even blinking at the stunt. She is not eating though, announcing she is heading straight to the company for her project. Immediately shutting down his offer to drive her, telling him to handle Guogu instead. His follow-up offer to pick her up from work gets an equally frosty rejection. Wang Han just smirks to himself, clearly amused by her temper. In her car, Su-chi gets a frantic call. A smear campaign has hit the news and her project is frozen. And she is in total shock as her assistant sends her the link. There it is, the dinner photos twisted into a story about her wrecking a delivery guy's family. So Su-chi is absolutely furious, demanding to know who is responsible for this. Back at the apartment, the princess dramatically announces the news, but he just dismisses her. So she shoves her phone in his face, telling him to see the proof for himself. After one look at the article, Wang Han's expression turns deadly serious. Someone has a death wish. He immediately makes a call to a contact named Wenlong ready to handle this problem permanently. Meanwhile, at a high-end hotel, the real culprit is celebrating. And we meet a young Master Su, gloating in bed with a woman about his victory. This young Master Su is feeling pretty good about himself, basking in his so-called victory. And he is ready to celebrate Su-chi's downfall. What a class act. But his party gets crashed by a boot kicking the door clean off its hinges. Standing in the doorway is a very serious-looking crew, led by a guy with some intense tattoos. And young Master Su immediately recognizes Boss One, his smugness evaporating instantly. This boss tells him to get dressed for a visitor, but our villain tries to play it cool, asking who dare. Which earns him a sharp rebuke. The time for questions is clearly over. Then the real guest of honor steps through, Wang Han looking like he owns the place. And the man with the eye patch, Wenlong confirms his arrival. Young Master Su just scoffs, calling out the delivery guy for being in the wrong place. He just keeps running his mouth, completely oblivious to the danger he is in. Unbothered, Wang Han just calmly picks up a nearby vase, and promptly smashes it right over the loudmouth's head. This villain is absolutely stunned, bleeding, and asking if Wang Han has a death wish. So our boy answers with a backhand that sends spit flying. A swift kick sends the scumbag sprawling to the floor, ending the fight before it even began. And Wang Han yanks him up by the collar, his face already a mess. He demands to know why he'd treat his own sister Su-chi that way, but the guy just spits that she is not his sister. Which is absolutely the wrong thing to say to a man with glowing red eyes. With one final, devastating punch, Wang Han puts the trash right back on the floor where it belongs. Young Master Su tries to bribe Wenlong, offering double to kill Wang Han, a bold move for a guy on his knees. Which earns him a swift kick to the face from a goon for disrespecting Brother Han. And Wang Han lays out the plan: make this clown force the media to delete everything and clarify the truth. So the enforcer gives him a little encouragement, telling him to listen to the man. But our villain is a slow learner, still begging for help against the delivery guy. So the goon winds up another slap, tired of hearing the same nonsense. And after a bit more persuasion, he is promising to make the media retract everything. With the goon just smirking that this would have been easier without the beating. Meanwhile, back at Su-chi's corporate tower, the fallout is just beginning. Where her assistant reports the media wants 80 million to delete the news, which Su-chi calls straight-up robbery. And just then, two family members storm in, yelling about how she has disgraced them all. But Su-chi calmly tells them it is all a lie. Though the old man just calls her a homewrecker, announcing another president is on the way. Because he does not care if she is innocent, he just wants the problem solved now. Revealing their real play, they will help if she gives up her power in the company. And her rival whines that the project should have been his, calling her success dog shit luck. But Su-chi is not backing down, refusing to hand over a thing. So the patriarch punctuates his argument by slamming his cane on the floor very subtle. Pulling the for the family card, insisting she is too young and has no choice. But at that exact moment, her assistant opens the door, announcing another president's arrival. And in walks another president, flanked by Su-chi's delightful family vultures. While her rival immediately starts sucking up, promising to handle the unfortunate scandal. But the patriarch just yells at Su-chi to hand over the project, since she is clearly incompetent. Right on cue, her assistant rushes in. The negative news has been completely resolved. Leaving Su-chi absolutely floored, wondering how that is even possible. Her relatives are just as stunned, discovering all the articles have vanished from the web. So the old man tries to argue she is still a risk, but President Liu shuts him down cold. With her business done, President Liu just waves goodbye, leaving the schemers in the dust. Suchi quickly calls out to her, a sudden realization dawning on her face, asking if she can meet President Liu's boss, the mysterious person behind all this. This president just gives a sly smile, saying her boss is a bit of an enigma. And then she just walks out, leaving Suchi in charge and her family absolutely seething. As they leave, the rival threatens her, but Suchi knows exactly who the real problem is. Left alone, she is still trying to figure out who her secret guardian angel could be, until a quick phone check reveals the official story. The deliverman was fired for the scandal. Meanwhile, over at the delivery center, Wang Han casually rolls up on his bike, not a care in the world. He asks a buddy for a power bank, completely oblivious to the morning's chaos. But his friend is practically hyperventilating, telling him he is all over the news. And when Wang Han brushes it off, the guy clarifies he has been fired. Wang Han just scoffs at the news, asking who would even dare fire him. Right on cue, the station manager appears to answer that very question. He officially gives Wang Han the boot, citing his bad influence on the company's image. But Wang Han argues the news was already proven fake. Facts do not matter, apparently. This manager plays the good guy, offering to hook him up with a security gig through his cousin. He even throws in some condescending advice about not living off a woman. What a pal. Handing over a business card, he seals the deal on this very polite termination. His co-workers give him some parting words, telling him to maybe brag a little less at the next job. While he is just trying to have a smoke, a voice calls out looking for him. His buddy is absolutely bug-eyed, pointing at whoever just arrived. And it is a very well-dressed woman calling out for Brother Wang, who his friends immediately recognize as Teacher Zia, adding to the confusion. She explains his phone was off, so she had to track him down the old-fashioned way. Wang Han just calmly asks what she needs, with his crew still gawking behind him. Turns out her father wants to meet him, and this probably is not the best place to chat. He just agrees, since he was about to leave anyway, having just been fired. As they drive off, his friends immediately start the rumor mill, guessing she is pregnant. This manager breaks up the gossip with a swift kick, telling them to get back to work. Just then, another luxury car screeches to a halt right in front of them. This guys wonder what is with all the fancy cars today, as a woman in heels steps out. And of course, another absolute bombshell in a luxury car pulls up, asking for Wang Han, leaving his co-workers completely starstruck and demanding to know who she is. So she just drops the bomb that she is his wife, here to take him home, which has the guys absolutely losing it, because that makes *2 wives for Brother Han. One of them helpfully points out he just drove off with another woman a minute ago. And this new arrival is clearly not amused that he has already given her the slip. Meanwhile, Wang Han and Teacher Zia are cruising on a motorcycle through the city, pulling up to a massive, traditional-looking building, the White Tiger Martial Arts Hall. She leads him inside, explaining her father is just up the stairs, where they are immediately greeted by a big, muscular disciple named Kong Hong. Wang Ying introduces Wang Han, but Kong just condescendingly asks if he is a new apprentice. But she corrects him, this is the new martial arts instructor her father personally invited. Kong just laughs in his face, saying a guy with his small frame could not possibly be an instructor. And when she tries to move past, he physically blocks their path. He then tries to ask her out with concert tickets, but she shuts him down cold, saying she has plans with Wang Han. Grabbing our boy's hand, she tells the big lud to please make way. And they walk right past him up the stairs, leaving him fuming. This camera gives us a nice close-up of them holding hands. Oh, it is like that *. Kong is now officially triggered, vowing to tear apart the little bastard for stealing his woman. Finally, they arrive to meet her father, who is waiting patiently at a tea table. Her father lays on the charm, asking why she did not announce such a distinguished guest. And Master Zia offers a handshake, all smiles and respect for Brother Wang. But of course, it is a secret martial arts power check handshake classic, leaving the old man impressed by his internal force while Wang Han plays it cool. He even introduces Wang Han to another master, bragging about how he saved his daughter. Before getting straight to the point, be an instructor, get 5% of the company in a year. Wang Ying says he does not need money, but Wang Han's like, actually I am broke and unemployed. So the master laughs and pivots to a salary, 50,000 a month, which Wang Han accepts on the spot, not even a second of hesitation. This old guys are absolutely thrilled, celebrating their new hire like they won the lottery. With business settled, it is time for a tour of his new workplace, where Master Zia gathers all the students on the main floor for an announcement, and he introduces Wang Han as the new instructor, who gives a polite little speech. These students, led by our jealous friend Kong, are immediately unimpressed by his build. So Kong immediately steps up, asking what styles he knows, practically begging for a fight. Won Han just casually lists off like every martial art known to man, and when Kong calls him a braggart, our boy just says he's got a big appetite. That is it for Kong, who officially challenges him to a spar, calling him all talk. And Wang Ying tries to shut it down, but Kong insists they cannot have a weakling for a teacher. This other students totally agree, demanding a fight to see what the new guy's made of. Master Zia suggests a little demonstration for the class, and Wang Han is more than happy to oblige. Kong immediately steps forward, promising not to kill him. What a gentleman. Our boy just smirks back, saying what a coincidence, he hits hard too. So Kong makes it a wager, if he wins, he gets to take Wang Ying to the concert. Wang Han says it is up to her, but she is already asking what happens when he loses. This guy just laughs, saying if he loses, Wang Han can have whatever he wants. Wang Ying jumps in with the counteroffer, if Kong loses, she is taking Wang Han with those tickets. Kong asks the master if it is okay to rough him up, getting told to dial back the ego. This challenger clears the floor, promising no mercy while Wang Han just tells him to bring it. Kong is officially triggered by the calm confidence, all talk, he thinks. And with that, he throws the first punch, ready to test the new guy's worth, which Wang Han stops cold with one hand, much to Kang's absolute shock. Then he just twists the guy's arm back, completely taking control, following up with a palm strike right to the chest, and a knee to the gut sends the big man flying. Wang Han just dusts off his hands, critiquing his form like a disappointed teacher. Kong is left coughing on the floor as Wang Ying cheers for her amazing brother Wang. This other master points out he was only using 30% power anymore and Kong would be hospitalized. Our boy Kong is just seething on the mat, utterly humiliated, but he is not done yet, launching himself at Wang Han for round 2 as Wang Ying screams a warning. Kong goes for a cheap shot from behind, trying to take him out, but Wang Han just effortlessly flips the big guy right over his shoulder. And from the floor, Kong smirks about how kindness is cruelty, what a philosopher. Wang Ying calls him out for having no martial virtue and the masters are not impressed. But this guy just gets up, declaring winner takes all as he preps a kick. He unleashes a flying kick, yelling for our boy to eat his dust, which Wang Han dodges like it is absolutely nothing, leaving Kong baffled. Now on the ground, Kong demands to know why he is only dodging. So Wang Han just stands there, calmly telling him his punches are way too slow. Then he drops a whole kung fu lesson on him about how only speed is undefeated. But Kong is having none of it, telling him to shut up and fight. He throws a wild flurry of attacks and Wang Han just dances around every single one, blocking another punch with a taunt. Is this really all the skill he has? After 15 years of training, Kong is officially done playing and now he is going for the kill. This other master recognizes the move, a lethal elbow to the heart. This is not a spar anymore. Leaving Wang Ying to watch in horror, completely terrified for Wang Han, but our boy stops the killing blow with one hand, casually saying, "I told you, you were too slow." He finishes, looking down at the utterly stunned Kong, and with one swift kick he sends the senior student flying across the mat. This entire class is stunned. He took out their senior with a single kick. Wang Ying is completely smitten, hanging off his arm and calling him amazing. While the old masters are already calling him a grandmaster-level son-in-law, Wang Han plays the good guy, apologizing for hurting the disciple, but Master Zia is just thrilled. While Kang's buddies are told to call an ambulance, our boy gets invited upstairs for a chat, but a quick phone check reminds him he is supposed to be delivering food to a mother and child. He then notices a message has come through from his wife, Su Chi. She heard he got fired and found him a new job, so he texts back about his 50K salary. She thinks he is lying. You can just feel his annoyance at her total lack of faith in him, so he just sends a picture of the contract, which shuts her up pretty fast. She then mentions she is off to meet a very important person, and after a bit of jealous prodding, she clarifies it is the big shot who gave her a project. This is a problem because he is the big shot, which means she is walking right into a trap. He immediately calls for a trace on Su Chi's location, getting a bratty no for an answer. After insisting this is deadly serious, his contact finally agrees to check. This news is not good. His little wifey is currently drinking with another man. It gets worse as his contact reveals the guy just spiked her drink. Wang Han is absolutely furious, his protective instincts flaring up. Hopping on his bike, he makes a simple promise: he is going to kill that bastard. He tears through the city streets, racing to get to her in time, and the destination is a very fancy hotel, where some creep is having a villainous little chuckle. Inside the hotel room, Su Chi is passed out on the bed, and the creep gloats about how he spiked her water instead of the wine. He is in full-on villain mode, rubbing his hands together like a cartoon. His brilliant plan is to film her, and use it to blackmail her delivery guy husband. With his phone ready, he announces the show is about to begin, right before the door gets kicked clean off its hinges. Wang Han storms in, and this dude's first complaint is about the do not disturb sign. This creep is absolutely stunned, stammering about how he even found them. Not waiting for an answer, Wang Han just lunges at him. He makes his intentions very clear, he is going to kill him. A brutal punch sends the guy's head snapping back, leaving him completely dazed from the impact. This creep throws a desperate punch back, which is a terrible idea, and Wang Han just sidesteps it, delivering an elbow to his back. That sends the scumbag flying across the room. On the floor, he immediately starts bargaining, name-dropping his powerful grandpa. Wang Han's response is to just bring his foot down hard, stomping his face while the guy threatens to kill his family. Our boy tells him to worry about surviving today, and the threats instantly turn to begging. Now he is just a whimpering mess on the floor, completely defeated. Wang Han finds Su Chi on the bed, delirious from the drug he just stopped, and he absolutely unloads on the creep who can only call him an animal, before turning his attention to his wife, helping her drink some water. This scumbag on the floor makes a desperate call for help to his grandpa of all people, but Wang Han's shadow looms over him, and that call is about to be disconnected permanently as a swift kick sends the phone shattering against the wall. A little later they have relocated, with Wang Han calmly waiting and the creep face down on the floor. Then an old man with a cane walks in, respectfully announcing his arrival to the young master, and Wang Han, looking completely unbothered, just asks if the trash on the floor is his grandson. This old man apologizes for his grandson's behavior, while the idiot begs grandpa to kill Wang Han. Read the room, dude. He is still confused, asking why grandpa did not bring backup to save him, which earns him a cane to the head as the old man screams about getting them both killed. Another brutal smack follows, with grandpa telling his grandson to shut his mouth. Now the creep is bowing on the floor as his grandfather asks Wang Han for judgment. This realization finally dawns on the scumbag's face, this guy is his grandpa's boss. Wang Han just takes a drag, reminding old Lin about the rules of their sect. And the old man confirms the punishment for this crime, getting told to do it himself. Turning to his grandson, he calls him an animal who has disgraced the entire family, and the old man stands there, trembling with the weight of what he has to do, before bringing his cane down with brutal finality, carrying out the sentence himself. Su Chi wakes up completely disoriented, wondering who the hell was screaming. And her friend rushes in, relieved she is okay and demanding to know where that creep went. Her memory is a total blur, only recalling someone busting in to save her. This friend is just focused on getting them both out of there, safe and sound. But as they are about to leave, something on the bed catches her eye, a small, familiar-looking bead which she guesses must belong to the mystery rescuer. Su Chi examines the dragon emblem, pretty sure her friend is right. They finally leave, with Su Chi now on a mission to find her hero and get some payback. Meanwhile, Wang Han watches from the doorway, just assuming she bolted out of fear. He has got to get back to his other business before the old man gets angry. Then a sudden panic hits him, his precious bead is gone, maybe he dropped it at the dojo. Elsewhere, a whole new set of villains are having a family meeting about getting wrecked by a delivery guy. This bruised up dude insists Wang Han is connected to the Black Dragon Society. But a new guy in a bow tie just scoffs, completely unimpressed by their reputation. His brilliant plan is to just kill Su Chi to get their family's power back. Simple. This bruised guy is just a little taken aback by the casual murder plot, but Bowtie is dead serious, adding Wang Han to the hit list for good measure. He wants them both gone, and the sooner the better. Now the bruised dude is all fired up for revenge, vowing to hire an assassin immediately. And completely unaware, Wang Han is finally making that delivery to the little girl. Wang Han plays dad for a bit, telling the little girl to do her homework. And her godmother takes over, offering to help with schoolwork. But our boy is still worried about Su Chi after everything that just went down. He texts to offer her food and she just says she is coming home, which he takes as a sign she is not up for much, right before his phone rings again. It is his brother-in-law Sulu putting on a whole apology act and inviting him to dinner. And the second he hangs up, that bruised face twists into a very obvious it is a trap smirk. Wang Han is immediately suspicious, wondering when this clown suddenly grew a conscience. Elsewhere, a whole new scene kicks off with a guy saving a policewoman from a falling object. And she is not happy, yelling about someone assaulting an officer. Turns out she was in the middle of an arrest, pinning some other guy to the floor. This guy who saved her just watches, thinking she is pretty fierce. While she is on her radio calling for backup, he decides to make his move, trying to play the innocent hero, calling himself a model citizen of the city. She is completely unimpressed, pulling out a spare pair of cuffs just for him. He cannot believe it when she tells him to cut the act and come to the station. His pleas of misunderstanding are ignored as she slaps the cuffs on him, declaring that the police will sort out who is good and who is bad. which is how he ends up at the police station for his good deed. Now in cuffs, he calmly asks the officer for a glass of water, cool as a cucumber. She is not impressed by his request, asking if he thinks the station is his house. But then her chief walks in, congratulating her on single-handedly catching 2 major dealers. And she gets all flustered, trying to explain that she just got lucky. So the chief asks if she knows who the mystery helper was. She has no clue. Which is when the cuffed guy tries to take credit, only to get shushed immediately. And now the chief is just confused, asking who this new person is. So she dismisses him as just some random guy she arrested while he protests his innocence. Right before another officer runs in with a file, announcing they have ID'd the real hero. And the photo in the file is of course Wang Han, leaving the entire room stunned as the chief orders them to uncuff him now, and with a quick click he is finally free. Which leaves the officer completely mortified while he gives her a smug "I told you so." And his little jab makes her absolutely furious. But Wang Han checks his phone, realizes he is late and makes a run for it, leaving her fuming as he bolts out of the station. Then he hops in a cab, begging the driver to speed up, who gives him a lecture on safety. So Wang Han pulls out the universal motivator, a huge wad of cash, which immediately sends the driver's foot slamming down on the accelerator. And suddenly this cabbie is a pro racer, vowing to get him there on time, because his destination is a building completely engulfed in a massive fire. Wang Han's cab pulls up to the dinner location, which is a bit more fiery than expected, and he steps out into total chaos, wondering why his dinner party is a 5-alarm blaze, just in time to hear a woman tell firefighters that Su Chi is definitely inside. That news hits him like a freight train. His wife is trapped in there. So he grabs the woman, frantically confirming Su Chi is still in the villa, before immediately ditching his jacket and sprinting straight into the inferno. While everyone else screams that he is a lunatic with no protective gear, this woman who gave the bad info just starts praying, having sent our boy to his doom. At that exact moment another car pulls up to the scene, and out steps Su Chi perfectly fine and very confused about her house being on fire. This older woman's face just crumbles, realizing she sent a man to his death for literally nothing, and Su Chi asks who could possibly be inside the villa. Only to be told some tall hero heard she was trapped and charged in to save her. She immediately realizes it is Wang Han and tries to run in after him, screaming his name. Absolutely breaking down while the other woman prays for his already melted bones. "Thanks for the support, lady." But Su Chi is just inconsolable, held back as she wails for him, and as the firefighters hose down the building, she is already mourning him. Right before a silhouette bursts out of a second-story window in a cloud of smoke, landing on the lawn literally on fire as firefighters rush to help him, and after they douse him he just stands there, complaining that it burned like hell. Su Chi sees him, singed and bruised, and just screams his name. Then she is hugging him, calling him a stupid idiot with a death wish, and through tears she asks what she and their child would do if he died. Wang Han just holds her close, trying to reassure her that he is okay, which earns him a few light smacks as she scolds him for the scare. While the woman who sent him in there suggests a hospital, but he is having none of it, they all turn to watch the firefighters finally get a handle on the inferno, and Wang Han knows exactly who to blame for this little bonfire. Su Chi gently wraps a blanket around him, just wanting to get him home. Later that night they have finally settled back in at their apartment, where he explains the dinner invitation was a trap and she is livid, but she has got a plan of her own. She installed security cameras. This footage confirms it all, showing Su Chi and his goons arriving just before the fire, so Wang Han tells her to eat, promising they will deal with them tomorrow. She is absolutely not over it, vowing she will never forgive them. This next day a motorcycle pulls into a parking lot right behind a red car, and the biker has to swerve as the car nearly backs right into him. Out pops the driver apologizing for her terrible driving skills, until she gets a good look at the biker and her face just freezes in shock, because of course it is Wang Han greeting Officer Yang with a perfectly smug "fancy seeing you here." He calmly explains he works here, which is just not what she expected to hear. And it turns out she is an apprentice at this dojo while he is the new guy. Then a couple of students walk by, respectfully calling him Master Wang, and Officer Yang's brain just short-circuits at the idea of him being an instructor. She immediately calls him out, reminding him he could not even handle her back at the station. As he tries to walk away, she demands a fight to prove he is not a total fraud. Wang Han pulls the "I do not fight women" card, which just makes her angrier. She is not having it and just straight up attacks him. So he offers a deal: he will fight with one hand, but if she loses, she runs a naked lap. This predictably goes over like a lead balloon as she tries to kick his head off. He blocks it effortlessly, mocking her for having zero power in her kicks. Our boy just stands there, completely unfazed by her little temper tantrum. Now she is getting serious, eyes glowing as she rushes him again. Another flying kick comes right for his face, which he dodges while asking if she got her job through family connections. Ouch. That jab hits a nerve and she just screams at him to shut up. Her next kick comes in with way more force and fury, but he just keeps dodging, warning her he is about to stop playing defense. She tells him not to get cocky and throws a desperate punch, actually managing to land a clean hit right on his chin. Her punch comes flying in, but he just grabs her arm mid-swing. And with a single hand, he completely overpowers her grip. Suddenly this fight looks more like a dramatic dance as he twists her around, which immediately gets him labeled a pervert for his troubles. He is clearly enjoying this way too much while she demands to be let go, even throwing up a little peace sign behind her head like a total troll. After he asks if she admits defeat, she grits her teeth and says she lost, which brings a very dangerous time to pay up smirk to his face. But when she actually starts unzipping for the naked lap, he is the one who panics, saying he was joking. Oh, she is not letting him off that easy, lecturing him on a martial artist's honor. Then she just rips her jacket open, calling his bluff hard, and our boy goes into full-blown meltdown, screaming that he is a married man. He literally flees up the stairs to escape temptation, leaving her with a smug little smile, because she knows she just won that round without throwing a single punch. Meanwhile, in a totally different room, some buff guy is trying to flatter a woman at a piano, but she just shuts him down, asking if he even understands music. Just then, Wang Han walks in, complimenting the teacher's incredible skill, so the buff dude gets territorial only for Wang Han to correctly name the piece she was playing. This teacher is impressed he knows her favorite song, though he admits he prefers another, and now she is all smiles, asking if he wants to play for them. This buff dude scoffs, saying there is no way this clumsy guy can play. So Wang Han sits down, ready to prove him very, very wrong, and the teacher is immediately swept away by the beautiful music, which leaves Mr. Muscles absolutely stunned that the kid's got skills. His fingers just fly across the keys with total confidence, and after he is done, he even gives the teacher a few pointers. What a flex, which makes the other guy lose it, furious at his audacity. Just then, another woman walks in, drawn by the incredible melody. She compliments the player on their massive improvement, assuming it was the buff guy, so he tries to shoo Wang Han away, saying the real lesson is starting, but the first teacher immediately rats him out, pointing to Wang Han as the real musician. This gets the new teacher's attention, asking who Brother Wang is, and she calls him Professor Wang, though he just plays dumb, trying to slip away. Of course, the buff dude laughs, saying he is just some delivery boy, except it turns out she was his student at Berkeley College of Music. Whoops. Our boy tries to dip, claiming he has got to go cook dinner for his wife, but she spills the beans. He was an honorary professor whose classes were legendary. This information completely shatters the buff guy's entire reality. Teacher Ren then asks the other teacher why she'd need anyone else with a legend like him around. Leaving the first teacher totally speechless, she had no idea who she was dealing with. Wang Han is back on duty, bringing a home-cooked meal to Su Chi's office, and she asks about his new martial arts job, which he says is a nice way to stretch his bones. His phone suddenly rings, and the caller ID just says, "The old man." Oh. On the other end, a voice is already yelling at him for daring to become an instructor. This mysterious boss man threatens to send Big Sister over for a little talk, which sounds terrifying, before telling Wang Han he is forbidden from working at the hall and needs a normal job. His new mission is to recover a stolen Buddha head from a group called the Strong. These guys are apparently a notorious gang of unpredictable lunatics. Sounds fun. He is also told to find a missing bead, otherwise the old man is gonna be seriously ticked off. After hanging up, he tells a concerned Su Chi that nothing's wrong, he just has a meeting. He gives her a quick goodbye, leaving her to finish her lunch in peace. Later that afternoon, our boy pulls up to a fancy apartment building on his motorcycle. A manager Zhang greets him, saying he has been expecting him for an arrangement. But a security guard immediately recognizes him as the rumored boyfriend of the Su family's daughter. Wang Han tries to deny it, but the guard is absolutely certain he has seen his photo. Now the whole security crew is gathering around, demanding to know what is going on. He tries to brush them off, saying there is nothing to talk about. So the lead guard offers him a smoke, hoping to get him to spill the tea. Wang Han launches into a whole sob story about being the poor son-in-law the Su family despises. This guards are not buying it, pointing out that a rich heiress's husband would not be working security. This lead guard smugly tells Wang Han he was right about the Su family moving in, and our boy is genuinely shocked, asking if she really bought a house here. Just as the guards mock his story, a fancy red sports car pulls up, and out steps a woman they call President Su, making Wang Han try to become invisible. His buddy immediately drags him back, asking why he is suddenly so shy. This woman, a redhead, then asks why he is not at the martial arts gym anymore. He claims he resigned after something happened, so she just tells him to come with her. As they walk off, The security guards are left watching, absolutely loving the drama. Wang Han gives the nosy guard a very subtle one-finger salute on his way out. She then asks how long he planned on keeping his new security gig a secret from her. He plays along, refusing her offer to stay at her place because of that other woman, so she offers him a new job, be her driver for a hefty monthly salary. She insists it is her fault he lost his last job and orders him to drive her to work tomorrow, which gives Wang Han a brief moment of panic, wondering if this makes him a kept man. Their destination is a massive, modern corporate tower, where guards are already waiting to greet their boss as she arrives. She has even set him up with his own office and use of the car talk about a promotion. This guard salute her as CEO Su, confirming her high roller status. From a distance, the security guard from earlier watches them, totally baffled by their relationship. While in another office, some sleazy CEO is threatening an employee named Lily with layoffs. Lily firmly rejects her boss's disgusting request, so he dangles money for her mom's hospital bills. What a charmer. She tells him to have some self-respect, but he just gets aggressive. And then the creep starts getting handsy, telling her to drop the act. From the hallway, a new voice wonders aloud if the office is bored. As Wang Han strolls in, casually calling out the harassment he is hearing. Inside, the CEO is ripping her shirt while she screams for help, and she tries to fight back, slapping him away desperately. That is when Wang Han leans through the door, asking if they are busy. Which makes the CEO absolutely lose his mind, demanding to know who he is. This guy just keeps yelling for him to get out, completely unaware of his mistake. Then tries to land a kick, which is just a hilariously bad decision. Our boy just stands there as the CEO ends up flat on his back, and Wang Han calmly calls him out for bullying his staff. Now on his feet, the creep threatens to call the cops on him, before trying to flip the story, accusing Lily of seducing him. Bold move. He is so smug, completely confident the police will take his side, until Wang Han reveals his phone has been recording everything. The CEO lunges for it, only to get smacked down like a fly, leaving Wang Han to loom over him with a very simple, very final threat. The CEO is now on the floor, begging for mercy and promising not to call the cops. But Wang Han just holds up his phone, letting him know the whole thing's been recorded. Later, his security guard buddy is chatting with a woman about a class monitor's wedding, and she turns to Wang Han, saying he looks awfully familiar. Then it hits her, he is the infamous troublemaker who got yelled at every Monday. Our boy just sips his drink, claiming heroes do not dwell on past glories. Impressed by his suit, she asks what he does for a living now, so he invents the most ridiculously complex job title he can think of, only to reveal he is just a driver for his boss. Which makes his friend absolutely lose it, spitting out his drink. She invites him to the wedding anyway, saying it is a good chance to network. After setting the time and place for tomorrow, she heads off in her car. This guard immediately asks Wang Han to help him borrow a nice car to save face, but Wang Han tells him to be more ambitious, promising a real luxury vehicle. With their plans set, he says his goodbyes and heads back upstairs. He arrives back at the modern apartment building, where CEO Su greets him in a towel, questioning his early return, then immediately starts teasing him about not waiting for a shower together. He just brushes off the flirting and asks to borrow her car for the next day. But she has got other ideas, offering a very different kind of drive right now. Wang Han tries to shut her down, reminding her he is a married man, but CEO Su just tells him to get a divorce, offering herself as a serious upgrade. And then she drops her dress. Yep, she is not messing around. She grabs him, promising a proper showdown with Su Chi for his affection. So he pulls the ultimate shutdown, claiming his wife is pregnant. That actually works, and she brings up that her car is in the shop until tomorrow, leaving Wang Han to figure out his promise to his buddy on his own. So he just makes one call and orders up a Rolls-Royce Phantom, as one does. This next day, he is already finding his new office job incredibly dull. When some random kid starts bullying a little girl right in the hallway, our boy is just completely baffled by this tiny hallway menace, and he immediately steps in, grabbing the little punk's wrist to stop him. This kid threatens to slap him, which is just adorable, really. So Wang Han gives his wrist a little squeeze to teach him some manners. Just then, the boy's mom shows up, demanding to know who hurt her precious angel. She immediately goes into a rage, screaming at him for touching her son. Wang Han calmly offers to discipline her ill-mannered child for her. You are welcome. But she defends the bullying, so he just calls her a terrible mother. At that moment, the little girl's mom arrives, checking on her crying daughter, and the girl explains the boy said she had no father and even spat on her. This bully's mom immediately flips the script, claiming her angel was just comforting the spoiled girl. Which makes the girl's mother apologize frantically while Wang Han just seethes. He gets right in the manager's face, asking what department she is in before dropping he is the CEO's driver. She just laughs, threatening to get a lousy driver fired today. Oh, you have no idea, lady. As the manager storms off to complain, the other woman begs him to apologize, terrified of the consequences. But Won Han is cool as a cucumber, telling her to let the manager tattle all she wants. This poor employee is now convinced he is doomed, certain the CEO will side with management. And right on cue, the manager bursts into CEO Su's office, demanding she fire the morally corrupt driver. Wang Han strolls in behind her, calmly offering to teach her badly behaved son some manners, tuition free. Won kicks back in a chair while she keeps ranting about him being a common street thug. CEO Su, without even looking up, just tells the fuming manager she can leave now. Her death glare says it all. The discussion is absolutely over. Once the manager is gone, CEO Su tells him to close the door for a private chat. Wang Han immediately calls her out for wearing high heels while pregnant, a very confusing accusation. He then kneels down, offering her a pair of flat shoes to wear instead. This sudden kindness leaves CEO Su completely flustered, thinking about how much she loves and hates him. Noticing her foot is swollen, he offers to give her a massage right then and there. She tries to refuse, but he gently insists she stay put. Internally she is just melting, never imagining he'd be this caring. Just then an assistant walks in, catching them in the most compromising position possible. This assistant freezes in the doorway, forcing CEO Su to play off the foot massage as something else. But there is a real crisis. A French expert team is here and their only translator is stuck in traffic. A translation app is out of the question, the technical terms would get completely butchered. Just as panic sets in, Wang Han casually volunteers to give it a shot. She is floored he speaks French and he just says he learned it living on the streets, a likely story. With the meeting's importance hanging in the balance, she has to ask if he is actually serious. He just gives her a cool, confident smirk, saying it should be possible. That is all she needs to hear, immediately leading him into the high-stakes meeting. Inside the conference room, they greet the lead expert, a Mr. Chatham. Wang Han immediately welcomes him in flawless French, not even breaking a sweat. After the expert replies, our boy translates it back perfectly for his boss. CEO Su is just staring, thinking this guy is an absolute master of deception. This meeting gets even more complicated when two more experts join via video call. And of course, one of them is Japanese, introducing himself as Yamamoto Akira. This completely blindsides the team, who had no idea they needed a Japanese translator. Turns out this new guy is the head of the company's entire East Asia division. This assistant asks if he also speaks Japanese and he gives the same vague, I have wandered excuse. This guy's resume is a fantasy novel. He then seamlessly switches to Japanese, briefing the new expert on the project. CEO Su is just blushing, completely captivated and wondering if this is the same food delivery guy she used to know. Hours later, the meeting is a huge success, with the assistant confirming the deal went off without a hitch. CEO Su sincerely thanks him for saving that massive international deal. And our boy just plays it cool, telling her it was nothing. Then he immediately gets flirty, asking what kind of benefits he can expect. She gets all flustered, telling him to be serious in the office. Sure Jan, so he just asks for the morning off to attend a friend's wedding. With his leave approved, she shoos him out of her office. He tries asking her to dinner on his way out, but gets shut down hard. Once he is gone, she calls him a blockhead for not taking the hint. This next day, he meets his security guard buddy, who is all decked out in a new suit. Wang Han hypes him up, saying he looks like a movie star. To complete the transformation, he hands over a very expensive-looking watch. His friend assumes it is a high-quality fake, but Wang Han tells him to act the part. A little confidence-boosting shoulder grab has his buddy's jaw on the floor. And then the Rolls-Royce pulls up, making his friend call him Godfather, as he should. This guy immediately starts stressing about the rental fee, promising to pay him back. Wang Han just calls him pathetic and holds the door open like a true chauffeur. Inside the car, he reassures his nervous pal that his crush will be totally impressed. They arrive at the fancy hotel, ready to make a grand entrance. But a glance at the wedding photo reveals their classmate is marrying a very, very old man. As his friend gawks, Wang Han learns the groom is a founder of the Su family company. Interesting. His buddy gets called out by the woman from before, Song Kian, for being late. After a quick compliment on his suit, he begs her not to blow his cover today. She just grabs his arm, saying their old classmates are already waiting upstairs, and the whole crew heads into the ridiculously fancy hotel for the wedding. Inside, they run right into a reunion with their old teacher, Mr. Fong, who is telling another classmate he only remembers two students, Goofy Dachin and the troublemaker, Wang Han. This teacher and some other guy with a ponytail are holding court at the table. As their group approaches, the teacher immediately recognizes Song Kian, showering her with compliments. While Won Han is politely offered a seat playing the part of the silent chauffeur perfectly, when Song Kian introduces CEO Han Dachin, the teacher cannot believe his eyes. So of course, the first question for the new CEO is what he does for a living. Wang Han jumps in, proudly announcing his friend is a media company CEO, the con is on. Then he introduces himself as the driver, asking how the teacher could forget the other memorable student. This ponytail dude immediately starts mocking him, finding it hilarious he is a driver for his own classmate. This condescending lecture continues, saying everyone expected more from him, what a disappointment. His buddy, the fake CEO, is just trying not to spontaneously combust from the awkwardness. Dachin tries to smooth things over, saying they are all classmates and should just get along. But the jerk just pivots to bragging about the bride's rich husband, who makes millions. This gets the teacher going on about how successful the class is, officials, business owners, and then he throws in even drivers, a direct shot that Wang Han just eats up with a smirk. Just then, another classmate arrives, apologizing for being late while the teacher greets her. After some flattery from the teacher, she immediately asks where big idiot Dachin is. This ponytail guy corrects her, saying Dachin is a company president now, which she finds hilarious. She absolutely loses it, cackling that he is just a security guard at the bride's husband's company. This gets ponytail dude thinking since Wang Han was the one who spun the whole CEO story. She calls Dachin out for the ridiculous lie, and he just begs her to give him some face for the day. But she just keeps laughing, mocking him for caring more about appearances than reality. Wang Han has finally heard enough, stepping in to ask if she is done with her little performance. His glare is pure ice as he asks if she needs him to make room for her to laugh. Unfazed, she quietly threatens him with the classic, "Do you know who my husband is?" line? Ponytail guy tries to break the tension, calling for a toast to their old teacher. And so they all raise their glasses for the most uncomfortable cheers of all time. Dachin, completely stressed out, just chugs his entire glass of wine in one go, which he immediately coughs up in a spectacular, bloody-looking spit take. This wine sprays directly onto the mean girl's dress, perfect timing really. She explodes, calling him disgusting and demanding he pay $38,000 for the ruined outfit. Dachin's face just goes blank, his brain short-circuiting at that number. He stammers an apology, offering to wash it, but she just keeps screaming for the money. Ponytail guy helpfully adds that $38,000 is basically Dachin's entire annual salary. What a pal. But Won Han steps up, phone out saying CEO Han does not sweat small change and asks for her account number. Ponytail guy immediately starts mocking Won Han's salary, offering him a job. What a philanthropist. Just then, the mean girl's phone dings with a notification, $38,000 received. But she is still furious, vowing to have her husband get CEO Han fired for the disrespect. And right on cue, she spots her husband arriving, waving him over. This new guy, her husband, explains he had a little trouble parking the car. He says he accidentally scratched another vehicle, prompting Wang Han to ask for the license plate. And with a perfectly timed smirk, our boy confirms that is President Han's car. His wife calls it a beat-up car until her husband drops the repair cost, a cool 700,000 yuan. She absolutely loses her mind, unable to process how a scratch could cost that much. Wang Han calmly clarifies the car's model, a Rolls-Royce Phantom. Ponytail dude and the teacher are stunned, realizing that was the car they saw at the entrance. To drive the point home, Wang Han just dangles the keys for everyone to see. This couple immediately accuses them of renting it, but he insists they will be paying for the damage. So the wife tells Ponytail guy to use his government connections to look up the real owner. He pulls out his phone, ready to expose their little lie for the whole table. Dachuan starts to crack, trying to confess it is a rental while the teacher scolds him for being vain. But the search comes back anonymous. It is registered to a company, but they did get a phone number. With a wicked grin, the wife decides to call the real owner herself and end this farce. As she dials, a phone on their own table starts ringing and the whole room goes silent. Wang Han just places his phone down and puts the call on speaker checkmate. This phone on the table keeps ringing and the whole room just stares. The call is coming from inside the house. Ponytail guy confirms his insider was right, telling the wife the car is absolutely registered to Wang Han. This completely shatters her reality, her brain unable to compute how the driver owns a Rolls. Wang Han twists the knife, calmly telling them the repair shop will send the bill for that 700,000 yuan scratch. Then he drops the act, announcing CEO Han is a tycoon's grandson who was just testing them and they failed spectacularly. This entire table is just frozen in stunned silence, their minds completely blown. And right on cue, the happy couple,
the bride and her ancient groom show up to greet their guests. Everyone awkwardly raises a glass for a toast, trying to pretend the last 5 minutes of humiliation did not happen. This bride does not even recognize them until another classmate points out Won Han and Dachin. After finally remembering them, she asks the classic reunion question, "So what are you guys doing now?" This mean girl from before just cannot resist, smugly announcing that Won Han is a driver. But the party gets crashed by a new arrival, a tattooed thug who immediately gets handsy with the bride. Ponytail guy recognizes him as Wen Long from the Black Dragon Society, a guy you do not mess with. This gangster is all over the bride, while her terrified husband just watches, completely helpless. Wang Han Long shoves the old groom aside, insisting he is not even drunk yet and is just getting started. As he keeps groping the bride, the groom pathetically begs him to stop making things difficult. Dachin, bless his brave, stupid heart, actually stands up and tells the gangster to back off. This thug squares up on him, but the bride tries to de-escalate, telling Dachin to just sit down. Just as Dachin tries to take the heat, Wang Han calmly tells the gangster, "Wen Long, you better behave yourself." This gangster freezes, his face a mask of pure terror as he recognizes who just spoke, Brother Han. Wang Han Long the gangster immediately switches sides, calling Wang Han Brother Han with total respect. This sudden change leaves the teacher and ponytail guy completely lost, their brains are buffering. His whole crew follows suit, bowing to Brother Chun while Wang Han tells them to play nice. With a quick salute, Wen Long says he will go make nice with the wedding couple now. He then apologizes to the bride for being a creep, and she is just happy to be alive. This groom, now a total suck-up, offers Dachin a VIP seat for bringing such a big shot. Mr. Fong the teacher is next, claiming he always knew Dachin was special. What a visionary. Wang Han just sips his wine, reminding the teacher he was singing a very different tune a minute ago. Of course, the teacher just laughs it off, insisting he is not the type to hold a grudge. Ponytail guy, ever the opportunist, calls for a toast to kiss up to the new top dog. And just like that, the whole table is raising their glasses to President Han. Loyalty is cheap, folks. Our boy just smirks again, enjoying the teacher's pathetic backpedaling. Still denying everything, the teacher fans himself like he is the picture of innocence. Trying to save face, Ponytail guy raises his glass even higher for the toast. Wang Han is now toasting CEO Han, completely forgetting who the actual newlyweds are. After the wedding, the bride and groom wave goodbye to their classmates from the stairs. Outside, Wang Han helps a wasted Dachin as the Rolls-Royce arrives to pick them up. Dachin, still playing CEO, drunkenly announces their departure for an important meeting. Song Kian gently asks if he really needs to collect the car repair money. But Wang Han is dead serious, they are paying for every single cent of that scratch. Drunk Dachin is having a full-blown meltdown over his lost love, while Wang Han just shoves his buddy's face against the window so supportive. On the phone, he keeps up the chauffeur act, saying he has to get the boss home. But he gets a call, plans have changed, a deal is going down at a nightclub. He just confirms the new orders, ready for whatever's next. And the scene shifts to the glitzy Shanghai nightclub. A new guy arrives, looking to scope out the bosses of this place. But the staff immediately write him off as a nobody. Big mistake. This little master gets a file on his target, one of 12 martial arts masters. And inside, the club is exactly what you'd expect, a total sensory overload. He takes in the scene, looking for his mark amidst the chaos, then heads to the bar to order a martini, playing it cool. This whole place is buzzing with youthful energy as he waits for his drink. And the bartender slides over the freshly made martini. Just as he grabs it, some girl with cat ears stumbles right into him, and he is shocked to see who it is, a familiar face. She is just as stunned, asking what the hell he is doing here. Then immediately calls him a pervert and shoves him away. He fires back, asking why she is here and roasting her outfit. Bold move, dude. Our guy just sips his drink, claiming to be a respectable person while she calls him out on the lie. Our guy gets the signal on his phone, the transaction is officially on. He brushes off the cat ear girl, warning her to get out before things get messy. Down the hall, he approaches the VIP room, complete with a two-man security detail. Lighting a smoke, he confirms this is definitely the place. This guard tries to stop him with a QR code, because even thugs are high-tech now. But these bouncers are immediately sent stumbling back in shock. Because he has already taken them both down with barely a flick of his wrist, a quick flash shows him dodging the first punch with ease, then countering with a brutal elbow to the second guard's gut. And one final shot sends the first guy flying backwards. He sighs over the downed guards, concluding that violence was the only solution. What a philosopher. Stepping inside, he crashes a room full of suits mid-deal. A bodyguard in shades immediately pulls a gun on him. But our guy just calmly announces their little business meeting is cancelled. This gunman gets held back by another suit, who is clearly trying to de-escalate. This of course infuriates the boss, who orders his men to attack. Two bald goons with batons charge forward. The B team has arrived, so he just rips a decorative panel right off the wall, and uses it to absolutely flatten the first attacker. This boss can only stare, completely stunned by the sudden chaos. The suit in charge recognizes Wang Han is from the 10 Elder Society, but does not know his name. So our boy just casually introduces himself, Wang Han. This guy immediately switches to full-on grovel mode, calling him ninth young master and ending the deal. But the original hothead boss is not having it, pulling his gun and declaring this is his territory. In response, Wang Han just hurls the decorative vase right at his face. It connects perfectly, knocking the gun right out of his hand. So much for being in charge. Standing over the downed goon, he drops a cool line about watching your mouth. Then he just sits down, lights up, and gets right back to business, asking for the Buddha head. This other suit offers him anything else, but Wang Han is only here for one thing. Getting real close, the suit smirks, asking if the ninth young master came alone. And just like that, it is a trap. 2 more guns are pointed right at his head. Wang Han, completely unfazed, just dares them to take the shot. Someone actually pulls the trigger. But he is totally fine with a fresh bullet hole in the wall right behind him. This suit warns him that taking the Buddha head means stepping into an abyss. Wang Han's only reply is to hold out a bag and demand the item. This boss orders his men to hand it over, but his subordinate is clearly confused, so he fires a warning shot right past the guy's ear to speed things along. This terrified goon immediately scrambles to pack the boot statue into the bag. With the prize in hand, the boss gives one last warning. Once he leaves, there is no turning back. Wang Han secures the bag, getting a final, ominous warning about the life he has chosen. With a casual wave goodbye, he leaves the suit to handle the aftermath. This remaining goons are completely lost, slowly realizing they just got steamrolled by a VIP. Back in the room, the bruised boss demands to know where his backup is. He grabs the suit for answers, only to be told his allies are long gone. This suit then gives him some friendly advice: learn about the 10 elders before you try anything stupid. And that name absolutely terrifies the boss, who clearly knows the reputation. He finally connects the dots, realizing this is the same guy who took out Bald Lou. But the suit just gives him a stone-cold look, basically saying, "We do not answer to you." At the elevator, Wang Han's exit is interrupted by some thugs carrying a familiar face. It is Cat Ear Girl, clearly out of it, as the creeps make some gross promises to cool her off. He instantly recognizes her, roasting her internally for getting caught on a mission. Deciding he is her personal hero for the day, he sighs and follows them. This elevator opens into a hallway that is just an explosion of pink and red, very tasteful. Hearing some wild music, he gets a little curious about what is behind the door. He peeks in to find the girl cuffed to a pole, surrounded by shirtless dudes. So that kind of party. Our boy is genuinely stunned, wondering if he just walked into an R-rated scene. She is still just complaining about the heat, totally oblivious to the danger. One of the shirtless goons finally spots him and angrily tells him to get out, which is immediately followed by a massive fist flying right for Wang Han's head. Wang Han effortlessly blocks the incoming punch, not even a challenge. While holding the first guy, another one charges in for a team up. So he just uses one goon's face to knock out the other. Problem solved. A third guy with his pants down tries the "do you know who I am" routine, a classic. And Wang Han's response is a swift kick to the jaw because no, he does not care. With the trash taken out, he turns to Cat Ear Girl, who is still complaining about the heat. She is clearly not in her right mind, trying to take her top off. Our boy grabs a water bottle, deciding a cold shower is the only cure here. He helps her drink some water, trying to bring her back to reality. Getting her to her feet, he complains about how much trouble this is. Grabbing a shower head, he tells her getting wet is the better option right now. He leads her toward the bathroom, with her still completely out of it. Ready with the shower head, he prepares to give her a much-needed cool down. She finally gets some relief as the cold water hits her. 15 minutes later, he is just chilling with a smoke while the goons are still out cold. Now sober and in a towel, she sheepishly thanks him for the save. After he plays it cool, she immediately turns and kicks the unconscious guys just to be sure. She then accuses him of seeing everything, while he claims he is the victim here. This does not go over well as she is completely mortified. Making his exit, he tells her to get dressed, but she warns him to keep his mouth shut. She stops him on his way out, suddenly very suspicious of his new bag. He tries to play it off as a simple errand, but she demands to see what is inside. With a quick tug, she rips the bag open, revealing the stolen Buddha head busted.
She immediately accuses him of theft, while he scrambles with the excuse that he is just returning it. He makes a break for it, shouting a goodbye to Officer Yang, so that is her job. This officer just screams after him, promising to hunt him down if that head is not back by tomorrow. Downstairs, Wang Han is met by the very goons he just steamrolled, and the bandaged-up boss is now bowing, calling him Ninth Prince and offering him the run of the place. Our boy just brushes it off as a misunderstanding before asking for a ride home total power move. This boss immediately orders a carriage for him, while Wang Han takes a call. On the phone, he confirms he has the goods, but decides he will hang on to them for a while. Which immediately backfires as he realizes Officer Yang is now going to hunt him relentlessly. Later, he is in an apartment telling some woman in lingerie to put some clothes on, but she just smirks, saying clothes are pointless when he is around. He tosses her a jacket, warning her that someone named Gyu Gyu is coming home soon. She asks where his wife Suchi is, and he just snaps back that it is none of his business. Ignoring her completely, he texts his honey to order some light food for delivery. This scene transitions with a shot of the daytime sky, and now the woman is following him outside, claiming he belongs to her during the day. He calls her out on her nonsense, so she threatens him to pay back his debt with his body if necessary. As Wang Han walks with his companion, they stumble upon some loan shark shaking down a woman. This lead goon grabs her, making some seriously creepy demands for the night. But the woman being harassed suddenly recognizes Wang Han, which gets the thug's attention. Wang Han tries to explain he lives nearby, but the thug just escalates with insults. Our boy steps in, telling them to knock it off and stop causing a scene. This thug pulls out a contract, insisting he is just a humble debt collector doing his job. His excuse is that she only paid the principal, not the insane interest they tacked on. So Wang Han just pulls the woman behind him, officially getting involved. He asks for the total, and the thug smugly names a ridiculous price. This woman tries to protect him, telling them to leave him out of it. This gives the thug a gross idea, offering to waive the interest for some quality time. But before anyone can react, Wang Han's companion delivers a lightning-fast kick to the guy's jaw, sending him flying to the ground in a heap of his own bad decisions. She then stands over the mess and drops a bombshell. "I am Wang Han's wife." Wang Han is completely blindsided, trying to tell the other woman she is just a friend, awkward. Wang Han, now back on his feet, orders his crew to grab both women, clearly not caring about the drama. His two goons charge forward, ready for some payback for their boss's face, and she just effortlessly launches into an aerial kick, taking one down immediately. This second goon gets a brutal elbow for his trouble as she calls them pathetic. In seconds, all three thugs are on the ground, completely stunned by her skills. This self-proclaimed wife stands over the goon, clearly not done with her fun. Wang Han tells the other woman, Sister Lily, that he is heading to the company, but she is worried about leaving the fighter alone. While the thugs beg Grandma for mercy, Wang Han just casually reassures Lily they will be fine somehow. Yeah, she is definitely enjoying this, telling the down goon to get back up for round 2. Sister Lily is still concerned about the lone woman, but Wang Han is ready to leave. This goons continue to grovel, promising they have learned their lesson from Grandma's beatdown. We cut to a massive, imposing corporate building, signaling a change of scene. Inside, Wang Han brings lunch to a woman at her desk, who immediately complains it is late. He explains there was a delay, and she actually compliments his improved cooking skills. Her meal is interrupted by a frantic phone call. Someone's begging darling to save their dad. It is her dad, Suchi, who has apparently gambled away 3 million and got himself kidnapped, again. Completely fed up with this routine, she just hangs up on him mid-plea. When Wang Han asks what is up, she just sighs that it is her dad's usual scam for cash. Right on cue, her phone buzzes with a new text message, and it is a proof-of-life photo of her dad looking very beaten up. Guess it is not a scam this time. On the phone again, she demands to know what the kidnapper wants, 3 million, cash at a club. Wang Han immediately offers to go with her, but she shoots him down, saying he cannot handle it. He insists on at least driving, but she is adamant that his involvement will only make things worse. A red sports car pulls up to a flashy nightclub at sunset. Suchi steps out with a suitcase full of cash, telling the staff to get the boss. Meanwhile, Wang Han pulls up to a club, thinking the name Drunken World sounds a little too familiar. Inside, Suchi has arrived with the cash, finding her bruised dad kneeling before the boss. Her father begs the third master for mercy, who is just chilling with a slice of watermelon. This boss, a guy in a Hawaiian shirt, tells her to hand over the money to free her pathetic dad. Getting a good look at her, he gets some seriously creepy ideas about her beauty. He then adds a new condition, claiming her dad also put his brother in the hospital, and his predatory smile pretty much confirms what he ** really wants as payment. In a stunning display of parenting, her dad actually tells her to make a sacrifice for him.
Suchi's response is a swift slap right across the creep's shameless face.
Absolutely furious, the boss grabs a wine bottle and orders his goons to hold her down. His goons restrain her as he approaches, ready to teach her some manners. He tries to shove the bottle in her mouth, telling her to drink up and be less arrogant, but she lands a perfect kick right where it counts, a direct hit to the family jewels. This sends him into a world of pure, unadulterated agony. He smashes the bottle, screaming that she almost ended his entire lineage, while her dad immediately offers her up as a sacrifice to save his own skin. What a guy! This boss grabs the broken bottle, threatening to slash her face for her defiance, but a flying kick suddenly takes out a goon.
It is Wang Han crashing the party.
Her dad instantly sells him out, calling him a worthless delivery boy trying to woo his daughter, which just makes the boss order his men to kill the newcomer on the spot. This goons charge in, yelling about killing the reckless delivery boy, but Wang Han just casually blocks a kick with his shoe, zero effort, and a single punch is all it takes to knock the second guy out cold. With the hired help down, he holds Suchi as the boss stares in shock. She is completely woozy from the wine, barely able to stand, which sends the boss into a rage, claiming Wang Han touched his woman. He raises the broken bottle, ready to do some serious damage, only for his attack to be stopped dead by an iron grip on his wrist. Wang Han calmly informs him that killing him would be as easy as crushing an ant, and the guy cannot even move completely and utterly outmatched.
This tough guy starts sweating bullets, finally realizing the massive mistake he has made.
So Wang Han just gives him a little shove to get him out of his face, sending the creep tumbling to the floor with a pathetic whoops. At that moment, another man in a suit rushes in, telling them to stop. This boss is still on the ground, looking like an absolute fool, while the newcomer looks furious, shouting a warning. Seeing his backup, the boss points from the floor, demanding Wang Han be killed. But his help just slaps him silly for daring to touch the ninth prince's woman. This new guy immediately starts bowing, begging the ninth prince to forgive his blind subordinate. He then forces the Hawaiian shirt-wearing idiot to kneel and apologize for his very poor life choices. With Suchi barely standing, Wang Han agrees to settle the score later. He scoops her up to leave, while her deadbeat dad tries to latch on, suddenly full of praise. But our boy just shuts him down cold, telling the old man he does not know him at all.
And the father is left completely stunned by the brutal rejection. Later, they arrive back at an apartment building for the night.
Tucking Suchi into bed, he offers to make some hangover soup. But she grabs him, begging him not to leave her alone, her hand clutching his sleeve with surprising strength, which leads to him sitting on the bed, caught in a very sparkly romantic moment. Pulling him closer, she asks him to stay, and he is starting to feel the awkward tension. As she begs him not to go, he is internally panicking about taking advantage of her. This next morning, a different woman asks why he has such dark circles under his eyes, her teasing implying he should know exactly what happened last night. And before leaving for a meeting, she reminds him to pick up Gyu from school. Her parting shot is a vague "we will see," leaving him totally confused. So alone on the couch, Wang Han just lets out a sigh of pure exhaustion. In a flashback, Suchi wakes up asking if he undressed her. But he clarifies she did it herself while handing back her clothes. And as she takes them, a small object tumbles out of a pocket. It is a bead, and Wang Han completely loses his cool, realizing he has finally found it. Suchi asks if the bead is his, explaining it was left by her savior at the hotel. He confirms it is his, pointing out the Han character inside as proof. And just like that, the pieces click. Wang Han was her mystery hero all along. They arrive at the corporate building, where guards salute CEO Su and brother Han. Wang Han gives the guards a casual wave, acting like he owns the place. Then he is right back to business, reminding her to decide on lunch. In her office, a blonde friend named Zufu pops in for a visit. Zufu invites her to a big party that night, saying they can go together. Her friend immediately clocks her good mood, asking what has got her so happy. So Suchi finally reveals that her rescuer from the hotel was Wang Han. Zufu is floored that the delivery guy is a secret hero. What a twist. She then offers to help Suchi recover some important deleted text messages. Meanwhile, Wang Han is outside, taking a very thoughtful smoke break. He gives the guards another friendly wave, keeping up the charade. A phone call interrupts him. It is his fourth sister, and she is in town. She is there for a conference but drops a bombshell. She wants to meet his fiancée /U00E9. Our boy is completely flustered, trying to figure out what she is talking about. This call drops, leaving him looking deeply concerned. Fiancé /U00E9 problems are the worst problems. He immediately heads back into Suchi's office looking for something, and kneels to fix her shoe,
which makes her instantly suspicious of his sudden kindness. He casually explains his fourth sister is in town and wants to meet for dinner. Suchi asks just how many sisters he has, learning he is the ninth of 9 adopted siblings. This particular sister, he boasts, is a rising star in traditional Chinese medicine. She tells him to stop bragging and just send her the details, then shoos him out of her office. Calling her dear wife, he gives a little salute on his way out to make lunch. Once he is gone, Suchi cannot help but smile, intrigued by this new side of him. Meanwhile, Wang Han takes a call in the hallway from a very insistent man. It is Officer Yang, and he is calling to ask about a certain stolen Buddha head. Our boy immediately tries the bad signal excuse, which absolutely does not work. Getting serious, he promises to return the artifact within a week, buying himself some time. Just as he is about to hang up, the officer stops him with one last question. He asks why Wang Han quit his job at the gym but gets a very vague answer. Downstairs, Sister Lily is in a panic, trying to get a ride from the building's guards. Wang Han spots her from inside Suchi's very fancy red sports car. He hops out and offers her a lift, much to her surprise. In the car, she explains her mom is critically ill and they need to get to the hospital fast. He tells her to buckle up and immediately speeds down the street. They arrive at the hospital room where her mother is lying unconscious in bed. A young man at the bedside says a director just confirmed her mom needs immediate surgery. She is confused since another doctor said surgery was pointless, but there is a new expert in town for a conference. Sister Lily hesitates to call a certain Director Yen, knowing the guy has some seriously creepy intentions. But her cousin insists, saying her mom's life is on the line, so who cares if the guy's a creep? Just then, the man himself appears, Director Yen, looking every bit the sleazy opportunist. This cousin immediately starts playing matchmaker, pushing for a lunch meeting between Lily and the director. Yen boasts that the medical expert is his teacher, pressuring her into a meal she clearly does not want. They then dismiss Wang Han, telling him to head back to the company. As he leaves, Wang Han gets a bad feeling about the director, but decides to mind his own business, until he overhears a little scheming session from down the hallway. This cousin and the director are plotting to use her mom's illness to trap Lily, then abandon her. This cousin is an absolute monster, even suggesting her mom is a burden to seal the deal. Wang Han is completely disgusted, realizing he has stumbled upon two of the worst people alive. So he immediately calls his fourth sister, asking if she knows the expert doctor they mentioned. She confirms she does and agrees to help, no questions asked. With a plan in motion, Wang Han walks right back into the hospital room. He stands over the unconscious mother, ready to turn the tables on those scumbags. At that moment, Lily and her cousin return, shocked to see he is still there. He tells her to cancel her lunch date, calmly stating he has already handled everything. Her cousin immediately mocks him, calling him a lowly driver with ulterior motives. Oh, the irony. Director Yen returns, all smiles, ready to whisk Lily away for their meal. He then points at Wang Han, demanding to know what gives a mere driver the right to speak about his teacher. Wang Han asks the director if he should repeat their scummy plan for everyone. This cousin and Lily are just completely speechless, caught off guard. Director Yen immediately starts yelling, telling this lousy driver to get lost. Just then, a whole new crew of doctors shows up, led by the dean himself. Lily is totally confused by the sudden appearance of the hospital's top brass. This dean introduces the actual medical expert, Dr. Nyo, who is here just for her mom. This sleazy director looks absolutely floored. He clearly did not think the real help would arrive. Dr. Nyo gets right to work, heading in to examine the patient. Meanwhile, the cousin is still sucking up, while Yen tries to take credit as the expert student. This good doctor then drops the bomb. Surgery is this afternoon, and it is free thanks to Wang Han. Her mind is completely blown. The driver arranged all of this. With a deadpan look, the expert basically says, well, duh. She immediately starts looking for our boy, asking where he went. Spotting him by the car, she runs right out to him. Our hero plays it cool, asking why she came down. Overwhelmed with gratitude, she just throws her arms around him in a huge hug. He comforts her, but has to turn down lunch to deliver food to Suchi. They make a deal for another time as she sends him off. Our boy hops back into the ridiculously expensive sports car, mission accomplished. On the phone, he tells Suchi lunch is on the way, and she immediately asks him to be her driver for dinner. Wang Han pulls up to a fancy party in that ridiculously flashy sports car. Out steps Suchi, looking like $1 million for the evening's inevitable drama. A smarmy-looking guy immediately comments on their grand entrance. She warns him to be on his best behavior, and he just agrees, calling her boss. Inside, her friend Zufu is already there,
pointing them towards some VIP they need to schmooze. Turns out the VIP is a 70-year-old who married a 20-year-old. Our boy is not impressed. This lady's offered their congratulations to the old man on his newborn son. Then another guest, a real piece of work, loudly points out Suchi brought family. This old chairman asks if Wang Han is her dad or grandpa. Ouch. But the other guy gleefully corrects him. That is her husband, the delivery boy. This dude just keeps hammering the point, making sure everyone in the room knows. Meanwhile, Wang Han is just chilling at a table, completely unbothered by the gossip. This old man then demands she bring her husband over, clearly looking for more entertainment. So she brings him over for introductions, playing along with the whole charade. Wang Han offers a polite greeting, and the chairman barely even acknowledges him. But then another CEO rushes over to shake Wang Han's hand like he is a long-lost friend, which leaves the other two totally baffled, asking why he'd greet a delivery guy. When asked what he does, Wang Han just calmly says he is Suchi's driver. These bullies are immediately relieved, writing him off as a nobody once again. At that moment, the host of the party takes the stage to welcome everyone. This host announces some entertainment. A young lady will play the piano, and she begins a very delicate, if uninspired, performance. This smarmy guy immediately starts kissing up, praising her as a master's student. Wang Han, however, looks completely unimpressed by the whole thing, so the bully calls him out, daring the delivery guy to share his expert opinion. Her teacher, a professional named Ren, stops the performance right there. This pianist is furious, demanding to know what right he has to critique her. They all mockingly tell him to go play, but Suchi begs him not to be reckless. Ignoring everyone, our boy just strolls right up to the piano. He sits down and dedicates the song to Suchi, total power move. Suchi and Jufu can only watch, wondering if he can actually pull this off. Then he starts to play, and it is immediately clear he is on a whole other level. This entire audience is completely captivated, practically swooning. Even the girl he upstaged is blushing, totally mesmerized by his skill. He finishes to a massive standing ovation, because of course he does. This bully, desperate now, asks the professional teacher to critique Wang Han's playing. But she just drops a bomb. I am not qualified to judge him. This leaves the smarmy dude absolutely floored. His plan just blew up in his face. Even the old chairman has to admit that the kid's got some serious talent. Later in the car, Suchi starts the interrogation. Who is he, and how does he know these powerful people? He explains he educated that Seo-sun once, which raises some serious questions. Shufu admits he looked handsome playing, and our boy just soaks it all in. But the mood shifts when he spots a car tailing them in the mirror. He immediately floors it, sending the women into a full-blown panic. They are screaming about him losing his license, but he is just having fun. Then he drops the bomb, cannot lose a license you do not have in the first place. These ladies are justifiably horrified by this new development, and things get worse when two motorcycles box them in on the street. One of the bikers pulls a gun and just starts shooting at them. Suchi, ever the leader, tells her friend to get down immediately. Wang Han, meanwhile, is laser-focused, not a hint of fear on his face. He swerves hard, slamming the car right into one of the motorcycles, yelling for them to hold on as he goes on the offensive. This first attacker goes flying, but the second one is still in pursuit. He shouts for them to keep their heads down while trying to escape. That is when a new car pulls up with an eye patch-wearing dude holding a massive rifle. As the windshield shatters, he instinctively shields Suchi with his arm. This assassin's car is right on their tail, not letting up for a second. More bullets ricochet off the car as the chase intensifies. He pulls a sharp turn, but realizes one of the tires is completely blown out. With a blown tire, Wang Han still manages to skid the car to a stop. Suchi immediately realizes they are after her, telling everyone to run. She warns him that every shot was meant to kill as they scramble out of the car. Just as they hit the pavement, the assassin's car pulls up, completely boxing them in. Out come the goons in suits, armed with silenced weapons and absolutely zero chill. Our boy immediately shouts for the women to get down, and he shields Suchi with his body as bullets start flying everywhere. Then he just casually picks up a rock from the ground, launching it right into a shooter's face with pinpoint accuracy. These ladies are floored that he knows martial arts, but he just plays it off cool. Shufu looks back in terror as even more assassins close in on them. So Wang Han pulls them all behind a tree for some temporary cover. He gets grazed by a bullet, vowing revenge for them daring to touch his wife, and then steps right back into the open to face the remaining gunmen. This guy literally dodges bullets while throwing more rocks like a human cannon, scoring another direct hit right on some poor dude's forehead. With the assassins down, he casually identifies them as the 7 fallen angels. Suchi understandably wants to know what the heck that means, so he points out the 7-star tattoo on one guy's neck, the mark of the Abyss organization. Turns out Suchi is holding something that can alter genetics and extend life, yeah, that will get you a few assassins. Suchi is totally impressed by his skills, but he is just like, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Meanwhile, Zhu Fu calls her grandpa for a pickup after their little accident. With a ride on the way, Wang Han tells her to beef up security and get the car fixed. Her friend, still shaken, clings to Suchi for comfort. Drama bonding time.
Later on, our boy spots Lily from the hospital, who promptly trips over a rock, and she goes down hard, spilling a box of her stuff including some very personal laundry. Rushing to help, he asks why she is carrying everything herself, only to pick up a lacy little something and turn beet red. Mission failed successfully. Lily just asks about the cut on his face, completely oblivious to his internal crisis. So he brushes it off, confirms her mom's surgery was a success, and tries to make a quick exit, but she reminds him he still owes her that dinner date.
He smoothly postpones, playing it cool despite the near-death experience by embarrassment.
Walking away, the guy's just thinking women are absolutely terrifying, a true scholar. Back at the house, he walks in on Suchi lounging on the sofa, who is dressed for a whole different kind of party, and he immediately asks her to cover up. After telling her to get dressed, he gets right to business about the life-extending drugs, and she is shocked he knows, so he explains the whole 7 fallen angels situation. Lighting a smoke, he listens as she warns him that the Abyss organization plays for keeps.
Then she asks him for ideas with a look that is anything but professional.
Getting way too close, she brings up how the Abyss chief owes him his life, while he just wants her to respect his personal space. She tries to sweet-talk him, saying he can solve her Abyss problem with just a word. Then she gets handsy, suggesting some fun while his wife's away. He is not having it. Pushing her off, he agrees to contact the Abyss leader for her, but warns her to be careful. Her next move is to offer him a reward, which is just a whole choice. But the mood is instantly shattered when a little girl walks in calling for her dad. This redhead scrambles for an excuse, pretending she lost an earring, while he just smirks. His daughter Gyugyu just hands him some amusement park tickets from her teacher, which reminds Wang Han he promised to take her out for the weekend. He happily agrees, sending the very excited kid off to bed. After a quick lecture on acting decent around children, the redhead vows to become the girl's mom anyway. He then casually asks if she could stay a few more days, and she immediately misreads the room, eagerly agreeing to his request. Our boy shuts that down fast, telling her to leave, which sends her into a rage about Suchi stealing her man. Meanwhile, over at the Lin family villa, 2 guards are standing watch on a balcony, when a knife suddenly comes flying out of the darkness.
A new assassin with a long braid takes them both out with brutal efficiency.
Inside, the noise wakes up Zufu and a blonde woman in bed, and the killer appears in their doorway asking for any last words.
She just smirks, saying pity, revealing a familiar star tattoo on her chest.
This blonde woman stands up, telling the assassin to leave Zufu alone. She is the target. This assassin holds a knife to Zufu's throat, telling her to hush, but then she gets a call and her mission is suddenly cancelled. She is furious, learning the order came directly from the emperor. After telling the women they are lucky, she just turns and walks away, then makes a graceful exit right off the balcony like a pro. Security finally bursts in, a few seconds too late to be useful. Followed by an older man, probably Zufu's uncle, asking if she is okay. This blonde woman confirms the assassin left without a fight. Her uncle examines his dead guards, impressed by the one-hit kills, and the blonde reveals the killer was from Abyss with an 8-star tattoo.
This news absolutely floors the old man, an 8-star fallen angel back down.
She explains the assassin got a call from the heroic emperor, who called it off. Having never heard the name, her uncle vows to find out who this mysterious emperor is. This blonde woman just thanks him, still looking deeply concerned. Elsewhere, Lily from the hospital is trying and failing to hail a cab, when Wang Han conveniently rolls up on a motorcycle to offer her a lift. She hops on and he tells her to hold on tight, suave as ever, and they speed off into the city traffic. During the ride, she asks about Gyugyu's mom, so he explains her parents are gone, leaving Lily looking pretty heartbroken for both of them. Over at Suchi's company, the staff mentions she is out sick for the day.
Wang Han shows up, annoyed she ghosted him, the absolute nerve.
Deciding to check on things himself, he hops on his motorcycle. His first priority is Gyugyu, so he heads home to meet her after school. He walks in playing the concerned husband, calling out for his honey, but immediately notices the bedroom door is suspiciously open. Peeking inside, his face just screams, "You have got to be kidding me," because it is the redhead from before dressed for a very different kind of hostile takeover. She immediately tries to seduce him, suggesting they try something exciting.
Our boy is just not impressed, playing dumb about her very obvious intentions.
She gets handsy, telling him to turn around for a little surprise. With her hands on his back, she promises to show him a good time, and by good time, she means pulling a knife out of nowhere. This assassin lunges, clearly thinking this is going to be an easy kill, but Wang Han dodges like he is swatting a fly, easily grabbing her wrist. He then blocks her follow-up knee strike without even breaking a sweat. With her totally neutralized, she demands to know who he is, and he just deadpans, "I am your wife." This struggle is completely one-sided as he holds her in place. He throws a punch, commenting that his actual wife is not this theatrical, and the whole thing ends with him trapping both her knife and her leg. Checkmate. With her cover blown, the assassin makes a run for it across the furniture. But she has got a backup plan, a gun pointed right at his face with a smug little threat. Wang Han does not even flinch as the bullet zips right past his head. Now on the bed, she demands he hand over some Buddha head for a quick death. Dodging again, he tells her she has got the wrong guy, it is with someone else. She is not buying it for a second, firing again and saying her source pointed straight to him. Our boy just pulls out a card, looking way too calm for this particular home invasion. With a flick of the wrist, he sends it flying and knocks both guns right out of her hands. Show off. Pinning her to the bed, she demands to know who he is, and he just sticks with the "I am your wife" bit. Then he starts inspecting her outfit, leaving her totally confused by the sudden wardrobe check. He pulls a small pendant off her dress, asking if she is the daughter of the Kaofeng Valley master. That question gives her the perfect opening to kick him away and make a break for it. Pausing at the window, she is shocked he even knows about her martial arts clan. Holding the pendant, he is having a crisis. Is this his childhood fiancée who is also Su Chi's doppelganger? She gives him one last warning about the Buddha head before she vanishes. Leaping out the window, she yells that he still owes her an answer about the bead. He just watches her go, completely baffled by this whole encounter. Immediately, he is on the phone asking if Su Chi has a twin, only to learn she is adopted. This only clue to her real parents was a keepsake her adoptive dad sold off, father of the year right there. Putting the pieces together, he realizes the masters of Kaofeng Valley might have had twins. Wang Han starts gently questioning Su Chi about her childhood. When her deadbeat adoptive dad bursts in demanding 300,000 yuan. He lays on the guilt trip, but she is completely over his tired act. Undeterred, Wang Han keeps pressing for details about her past, but the father of the year just keeps begging for his little loan. Su Chi shuts him down cold, telling him to get lost. As the old man keeps pleading, she just grabs Wang Han for a meeting. Left alone, her dad throws a full-on tantrum about his ungrateful daughter. Then he spots Wang Han's jacket and decides to check the pockets for cash. He finds a few bills and the bead from the assassin, wondering how a delivery boy got it. And it clicks, this is Su Chi's keepsake and he has just hit the blackmail jackpot. When Su Chi returns, he is ready with a brand new story she is not buying, dropping the bombshell that she is not his biological daughter. His proof is a memory of a blood transfusion where their types did not match, but she is still not listening, telling him to just stop talking. So he pulls out the bead, claiming it is the key to finding her real parents. And the price for this family reunion is a cool 500,000 yuan. This world's saddest negotiation begins as he haggles his own daughter for cash, until she finally agrees to 300k and the transfer hits his account instantly. With the money secured, he leaves the bead on the desk and makes a run for it. Su Chi holds the bead her dad sold her, feeling a strange sense of familiarity. Meanwhile, Wang Han returns to the office, looking for something important. A sudden panic hits him as he starts patting down his jacket, and realizes the bead from the assassin is completely gone. He immediately suspects the Su Chi lookalike, also mourning his stolen pocket money. Just then, the real Su Chi walks in, confirming only her dad had been there. Trying to play it cool, he suggests they head to the hospital together. His concerned husband act is on full display as she agrees to a quick checkup. Soon they are cruising down the road in a very conspicuous red sports car, and she asks him to keep the hospital visit a secret. He promises he is a vault. Naturally, that is when another car cuts them off with zero warning, sparking some very relatable road rage about the proper use of a turn signal. This sudden jolt seems to trigger a memory for Su Chi, because she spots the bead on his jacket and demands to know where he got it. He tries a flimsy excuse about his older sister, but she is not buying it for a second. So he spins this wild tale about an arranged marriage and a family quest, a true artist at work. He even has the gall to ask if she is jealous, which she immediately denies. Later, back at her desk, she is anxiously waiting for paternity test results. Staring at the bead, she cannot help but wonder if this is all fate's doing. But her thoughts are cut short when an assistant announces she has a visitor. And Su Chi's visitor is a redhead who walks in like she owns the place. Su Chi recognizes her cousin,
who is clearly not here for a friendly chat. This cousin gets right to it, slapping down a card with 100 million to buy Wang Han off. Laughing at the sheer cliché of it all, Suchi assumes Wang Han sent her. But she shuts it down cold, saying she is married, pregnant, and loyal. Her cousin just pushes the card again, insisting she think about the money. Suchi is just amused, wondering if Wang Han really thinks he is worth that much. With the cousin gone, she is left alone in her office to process this mess. When her blonde friend suddenly pops in, all smiles and announcing good news. She gets a little handsy, excitedly talking about a research drug collaboration. Turns out she is partnered with a medical genius named Yukinkyu. Her friend insists they go meet this famous doctor immediately. Suchi is still stuck on that name, which definitely rings a bell. And her friend is already dragging her out the door for this big opportunity. This second they are gone, a man in a suit sneaks into the empty office. He immediately spots the bank card just sitting on the desk. And he is absolutely delighted to find the password written right on it. What a security pro now outside, he is on the phone with someone called Fourth Sister. Giving a full report on Suchi, nice girl, poor family, healthy kid. And the scene just fades out on a quiet evening sky. Wang Han casually preps Suchi to meet his fourth sister, who he swears is super chill. They walk in the door and are immediately hit with a what the hell moment. Because his sister and Suchi's cousin are already in the kitchen, making themselves at home. And his sister is none other than Yukinkyu, the medical genius Suchi just heard about. This whole crew is here, Gyugyu included, and Suchi is just trying to process this ambush dinner party. Her brain is completely short-circuiting, wondering if her delivery boy husband is secretly a trust fund baby. Yukinkyu plays the perfect hostess, formally introducing herself as part of the family. At the table, Wang Han tries to act normal, pushing his sister's famous fish dish. Then fourth sister drops the bomb, she is sleeping with Suchi to take care of her. And Wang Han gets the couch effective immediately. This cousin throws some shade about his new sleeping arrangements, earning a shut up and eat from our boy. Banished to the sofa, Wang Han is on the phone, still trying to track down Suchi's assassin doppelganger. A late-night text buzzes his phone and he wonders who it could possibly be. He opens it and his eyes just about pop out of his head. It is from Suchi's blonde friend, complete with a thank you selfie that is not work appropriate. Our guy just facepalms, absolutely done with this woman's total lack of boundaries. This next day he is taking Gyugyu out when someone calls his name. It is Gyugyu's teacher and they are all meeting up for a fun day out. This three of them head off for the carousel, looking like a happy little family. But Wang Han suddenly stops, sensing he is being watched. A hand clamps down on his shoulder from behind and it is not a friendly tap. This hand on his shoulder belongs to some rando who clearly recognizes him. And this guy Kong Hong immediately starts hitting on Gyugyu's teacher who accuses him of stalking her. She threatens to tell her dad but he is more worried she is with a guy who already has a kid. As Wang Han walks off, the stalker mutters that if he cannot have her, no one can real stable individual. This three of them try to have a normal day out with Wang Han offering to get burgers. When screams for help suddenly interrupt their family outing, a kid is drowning and Wang Han is already sprinting to the rescue. This teacher tries to run in too ready to help. But her stalker grabs her whining that it is too dangerous for her to go in. While they argue Wang Han has already launched himself into the water, swimming so fast the crowd thinks he is a professional athlete. He gets one person to safety but tells everyone to back off. There is another victim, explaining someone else is tangled in seaweed at the bottom. With that he divvies back under as Gyugyu and her teacher watch in horror. And Gyugyu reveals her own father died in the exact same way, trying to save someone. Some bystander then offers her condolences, saying he is probably not coming back up thanks lady. Which earns the stalker a slap from the teacher when he echoes the sentiment after 20 minutes. She calls him selfish and is about to jump in herself to save Wang Han. Just as the crowd spots movement in the water again, it is Wang Han emerging with the second person looking absolutely white but victorious. This crowd is just floored by his underwater stunt as medics rush to the scene. Gyugyu runs straight to him for a hug calling him dad. But the second person he saved is still out cold baffling the first responders. So Wang Han pushes through announcing he will take a look himself. He just smiles telling Gyugyu not to worry about him being all wet. Medics are totally stumped the guy's breathing but just will not wake up. Kneeling down our boy starts checking the guy's vitals much to everyone's surprise. And his professional diagnosis is irregular periods which is a new one. This wakes the person right up because surprise it is a girl. She explains she survived by sharing air with the other victim underwater. Wang Han just shrugs it off like it is no big deal, totally casual about the whole thing.
This girl he saved, Chung Myo-in, formally introduces herself and thanks him, insisting she treat him to a meal for his trouble.
Gyu-Gyu's teacher smoothly turns it into a group dinner date. But lurking in the background, the stalker is fuming that Wang Han is even alive. Since his phone is soaked, Wang Han asks to borrow Myo-in's for a call.
And she immediately gets some bad news about a business deal going south. Some guy is trying to buy out her research for a pathetic 150K.
Suddenly she has to bail on dinner for this business emergency. So Wang Han offers to call her a cab. Ever the gentleman. A black SUV speeds through the city heading for a showdown,
where Myo-in explains her software project is getting shamelessly lowballed. And they pull up to the corporate building where the deal is going down. Inside, she is told the potential buyer, a Mr. Zhang, is already waiting for her. So she walks in and introduces herself as the head of the development team. This guy immediately offers a measly 150K to buy her entire project.
What a generous soul.
She flatly rejects the buyout, explaining they need an investor, not a predator. But one of her own teammates is already getting weak in the knees over the money. Mr. Zhang spots the weak link and poaches him with a job offer because loyalty is so last season. A second teammate quickly follows, leaving Myo-in stunned by the betrayal.
This businessman just shrugs, saying there is nothing despicable in his dictionary.
But just then Wang Han steps in, holding the project proposal. He completely dresses down the old man for trying to swindle a college kid. Zhang puffs up his chest with some empty threats, which Wang Han just laughs off.
As the traders leave, Myo-in thanks him for stepping up.
But her remaining partner is panicking. They cannot compete with their stolen software. Wang Han, completely unbothered, just asks for an account number to wire the funds. A second later, a transfer notification for 5 million hits her phone and everyone just freezes. He then formally reintroduces himself, shaking hands with his new, very shocked partner. Now in charge, our boy tells them to get started on the project briefing. Back to business, the partner gives Wang Han the full rundown on their software. But he is already stressing about needing legal and finance teams with zero connections. So Wang Han makes one call, and young master suddenly has a top-tier legal team on the way. With that sorted, he tells the kid to just focus on the tech while he handles the money. Now driving Gyu-Gyu and her teacher home, the teacher is still amazed by his whole day. When Gyu-Gyu points out a car has been tailing them for a while now. And yup, it is a full-on pursuit because subtlety is for other people. He drops Gyu-Gyu off at their building, telling her to head straight inside. This second she is safe, he spots his tail hiding poorly in the bushes. This guy is trying his absolute best to look like a suspicious person and succeeding. Our boy grabs him from behind and the spy immediately starts squealing that his boss just wants a chat.
Wang Han, completely unimpressed, just tells him to lead the way.
Which brings him to a car where an old man and a woman are waiting. This guy introduces himself as Master Bai of the Underworld, a title that earns a solid blank stare. He saw the rescue earlier and wants to hire Wang Han for an underwater salvage job offering 6 million. His associate questions the price but Bai insists, though he will only pay after the job is done. Wang Han scoffs at the trust me payment plan, forcing him to offer a 2 million deposit up front. Before agreeing, our boy holds up a hand, saying he needs to make a quick call. He sends a cryptic text, clearly setting something up in the background. With his own plan in motion, he looks up and agrees to the deal. This associate hands over the deposit card with a very casual run with the money and I will break your legs threat. And Master Bai reveals the job is to retrieve some bodies from a place called Dragon Return Beach. Sounds lovely. Our boy is immediately skeptical of the super ominous name, but Bai just points out he has already taken the cash so the deal is done. With that, his new employers just peel out, leaving him to ponder his life choices. He immediately gets on the phone to his own contact, asking for an update. And it turns out that cryptic text was to this old-timer who was already on the case. Revealing the target is not a body but a golden statue with a pagoda inside its chest.
This contact explains the whole backstory.
It is a memorial for a monk with a hidden treasure inside. Wang Han wants to know why it is so important but gets a classic do not ask, just get it response. So he just agrees to follow instructions and get the job done. Meanwhile, back at the apartment, Suchi is looking over some important-looking papers. When Wang Han walks in, surprising her with his early return. He glances over and sees she is holding an appraisal report, which she immediately snatches away, claiming it is her own business. Changing the subject, she asks about the bead he is wearing, which leads to the big question of who he is, and he gives the most absurd, over-the-top answer ever.
She is completely unimpressed, so he just shrugs and offers to cook for her instead. This next morning, Suchi pulls up to a massive corporate building in a sports car, greeted as CEO Su.
But inside her office, her blonde friend is already waiting, reminding her that she took the money, so she has to do the job. Suchi's friend lays it out. Her bond with Wang Han is unbreakable after 12 years, revealing he is still carrying 6 bullets in his body because of her and she'd die for him. She then tries to buy Suchi off, but the CEO flatly refuses to sign whatever it is, so the friend just leaves her with an 8-hour deadline to change her mind. On her way out, she bumps into another woman, a CEO Jiang, and Suchi's other friend asks who the big shot from Beijing is. A flashback hits Suchi. She has seen this woman with Wang Han's teacher, sparking suspicion. Her friend confirms the Jiang family is insanely powerful, enough to buy them out in a heartbeat. This sends Suchi into a frantic search through the papers on her desk. Suddenly, she is yelling for her assistant to come in, looking absolutely panicked. She asks if any suspicious people have been in her office lately, and the assistant confirms a guy named Sula was there, which is clearly the wrong answer. Her phone starts ringing and Suchi looks like she is about to commit a felony. On the line, she demands Sula return her bank card, but he plays dumb, so she just casually threatens him with evidence of his past arson and murder, normal office talk. She then turns to her friend with a perfect smile, canceling their plans like nothing's wrong. Internally, she is reeling from this bizarre turn of events, but she waves her friend off, insisting everything is totally fine. A moment later, Sula shows up to return the card, claiming he barely spent anything, which earns him a collar grab from a furious Suchi who demands to know just how much a little was. Sula returns the card, swearing he barely spent anything, which earns him a collar grab from Suchi who was clearly not buying it. Turns out a little was over 10 million, and she promptly tells him to get lost. As he bolts, she realizes her friend gave her 100 million just to make Wang Han leave. Meanwhile, over at the Shanghai Group headquarters, Wang Han is just casually swapping war stories with security about cannibal pirates as one does, when Suchi's voice cuts through, calling his name. He greets her formally as CEO Su, and her heart just sinks, thinking he is leaving, but his big dramatic announcement is that he wants braised fish for lunch. She watches him walk away, then pulls out her phone, a plan forming. On the line, she is trying to sell her brand new house and car immediately, confirming she desperately needs the money and is ready to sell at a loss. Right then, an incoming call from her blonde friend interrupts everything. This friend offers her any price for Wang Han, while Suchi just promises to pay back the 10 million. She tells the woman to come get her card anytime, completely ignoring the offer. And as for Wang Han, she says his future is his own choice to make. Back outside, our boy is still just chilling with the guards, totally unaware. A luxury car pulls up, and everyone assumes it is for him. Out steps the blonde friend, calling him over for a little chat. She announces she is leaving that night, and he just asks why she is in such a rush to go. A redhead steps out of a car, demanding a hug with some serious emotional urgency, and he obliges, sharing a surprisingly tender embrace. Our boy jokes about not being dead, while she claims it is just sand in her eye, a classic. He tries to calm her down, saying they will have plenty of time later, which earns him a swift knee to the family jewels for his trouble. Doubled over, he gets a lecture on his appearance, because priorities. Then she just gets in her car, casually dropping an "I will love you forever" on her way out, leaving Wang Han completely bewildered by this roller coaster of affection and assault. He just watches her peel out, wondering what on earth it was all about. Meanwhile, back in her office, Suchi gets an incoming text message. It is from the blonde friend, officially leaving and telling her to keep the 100 million card. Suchi is floored by the gesture, now desperate to know who Wang Han really is, so she immediately calls a contact to run a full background check on him. This report comes back suspiciously empty: orphanage army than nothing, a total ghost. Undeterred, she asks her contact to now investigate his supposed sisters. At the same time, Wang Han gets a call from his own intel guy about a Suchi lookalike. His contact says they have nabbed an associate of the lookalike, but he is currently unconscious. This location is Dragon Bay Villa, and Wang Han immediately says he is on his way. Hopping on his bike, he tears through the streets to get there, arriving at the sleek modern villa where his lead is waiting. Wang Han strides into the villa, calling for his contact. Inside, his intel guy points to a dude passed out on the couch, that is their lid. With zero time for naps, Wang Han yanks the guy up, ordering him to be woken. And the wake-up call is a face full of water, effective, if not exactly gentle. Now conscious, the redhead looks absolutely terrified as our boy calmly adjusts his cuffs. He shoves a photo of the Suchi lookalike in his face, demanding to know where she is. But the guy just smirks, saying he knows Wang Han has the Buddha's head. That earns him a vicious backhand. Our boy is clearly not here for riddles. Still defiant, the punk repeats his threat, earning a look of pure disdain. Wang Han cracks a smile that promises a world of hurt, offering to teach him how to answer.
This lesson involves some very persuasive finger bending, and suddenly the guy is ready to sing. He finally spills, "The woman is who die and she is coming to kill him." Turns out she is from the G family, one of the Dark Eight Gates, a whole clan of assassins. This informant warns him that being their target is basically a death sentence. His contact confirms the intel, listing off the other assassin families now gunning for them. But Wang Han just scoffs, dismissing them as a bunch of shady amateurs. Having gotten what he needs, he orders the guy to be taken away. As the informant is dragged off, his contact warns him not to underestimate these killers. Wang Han is not scared for himself, but immediately orders secret protection for Suchi. Just then a woman in a white dress appears, asking what on earth he is doing here. This woman in white is shocked her grandpa still calls Wang Han young master. And the old man reveals Wang Han is the big shot who won the Qin family project. She is absolutely floored, realizing who he is and regretting some photos she posted. Wang Han has no idea what she is talking about, while grandpa just roasts the photographer. This sends her into a full-blown panic, bolting upstairs, screaming that people will die. With her gone, the old man orders Wang Han to keep tabs on their informant and find the butterfly. Just as he is processing this, his phone starts to buzz. It is a call from someone named Qing Maoyan. On the line, a panicked voice reports their competitor just launched a rival software. Our boy just coolly says he is on his way to the company. Back at the villa, the woman reappears, asking where he went, much to her grandpa's confusion. She is practically in tears, completely overwhelmed by the reveal of his true status. Her grandpa warns her to keep his identity a secret from everyone to protect Suchi. Cut to Qing Maoyan's office, where the crisis is unfolding. A young guy rushes to meet Wang Han, explaining their rival already dropped 2 million on ads. He is then asked why he has not spent the 5 million he was given. Turns out the kid was just too scared to act. With the software ready, Wang Han gives the order, dump all 5 million into promotion. This kid balks at the number, but Wang Han tells him to get used to it. It is just small things. Meanwhile, the competition is celebrating their 300,000 downloads from a 2 million spend. And their CEO is getting way too comfortable with his staff making some seriously sleazy promises. This rival CEO is already gloating, planning to send a mocking gift to celebrate his win. But his subordinate interrupts, pointing out that Qing Maoyan's team has started promoting their software too. This news sends the office into a panic. How could their broke rivals possibly have any money? His tech guy confirms they just dropped a casual 5 million on ads. Enraged, the CEO decides to match it, ordering his own team to dump another 5 million to crush them. Meanwhile, Wang Han's crew is celebrating hitting number 1, though he is staying cool about it. Just then, the kid's phone lights up with a notification for a fresh 5 million deposit. He asks why, and Wang Han just calmly explains their opponent will not give up that easily. Right on cue, the competition intensifies, and the team wants to drop another 5 million to stay ahead. Wang Han gives the order to smash it, refusing to give their rivals a chance to breathe. Over at the other company, absolute chaos erupts as they see the new 5 million spend. Their CEO is losing it, having already sunk 7 million and refusing to let it all go to waste. He desperately calls for backup from someone named Old Huang. His new strategy is simple: if you cannot outspend him, hire a hacker to crash their servers. The CEO then tells his own tech guy to grant full system access to this mysterious contact. A strange black goat logo appears on the screen, which the staff finds vaguely familiar. One of them suddenly recognizes it, blurting out the name Bafum. Turns out Bafum is a top 10 international hacker from a group called Black Goat known for a $100 million shakedown. CEO Zhang just smirks, deciding it is way easier to ruin them than to compete, a true pillar of the business community. And back at Wang Han's office, the attack begins as that same Black Goat logo appears on their screens. This team is freaking out, recognizing the attacker as Bafum, a top 10 hacker. His kid apologizes for the 10 million loss, but Wang Han just calls it playing dirty. Our boy is completely unbothered, claiming everyone knows a few hackers, a totally normal thing to say. Then he starts making calls, casually cycling through German, Korean, and Russian, leaving his entire staff just staring in awe at his sudden multilingual flex. Meanwhile, the rival CEO is already celebrating, thinking he has crushed them for good. Until his own tech guy's computer starts to absolutely lose its mind, flashing a weird fox logo before being replaced by a dancing bikini model, the ultimate digital disrespect. This whole office panics, realizing they're being counter-hacked, and their tech guy confirms they have been hit by hackers ranked 2nd, 4th, 6th, and number 1. Back at base, the team celebrates their win, and Wang Han just says he called some old internet cafe buddies. He is already on to the next phase, promising more cash for celebrity endorsements, then hops on his bike and heads over to a bar. Inside, he calls out to the bartender, a woman named Sister Mang, who asks what he is doing there while he wonders why the place is so dead. She offers him money if he needs it, but he is here for a different kind of favor, asking to use her old entertainment industry contacts to find him some stars. After she agrees, he asks if she is really selling the bar, and she explains her friend is short on funds to buy it. He asks how much is needed, 9 million, and immediately agrees to pay it himself, leaving her completely floored by his casual multi-million-dollar solution. Right on cue, some thugs barge into the bar demanding money from Sister Meng. Their leader spots Wang Han asking who this random guy is, and actually recognizes him as a food delivery boy, prompting Sister Meng to step in, which gets her shoved aside as the punk demands his 5 million, but she just calmly announces that she has already sold the bar. Enraged, the guy grabs her by the throat demanding to know who bought it, and the answer comes in the form of a wine bottle to the head, delivered by Wang Han, who asks what kind of man bullies women. This bleeding thug just screams for his goons to kill the filthy delivery guy, so his two lackeys immediately charge forward to attack. Wang Han sends one flying with a kick, mocking their terrible skills. His face a perfect picture of you have no idea who you are messing with. Then he effortlessly blocks a kick from the second goon, turning the bar into a blur of motion as he takes down the whole crew. With everyone on the floor, Sister Meng begs him to stop, warning they are from the Brotherhood Alliance. Our boy just looks bored, questioning the very dramatic gang name. She is terrified, telling him to leave because they cannot afford this trouble. But Wang Han just pulls out his phone to make a call instead. This down leader scoffs at the act right as his own phone starts buzzing, and he realizes with dawning horror that the call is for him. Suddenly, the thug leader is on the phone, taking orders and looking absolutely terrified, and that phone call works wonders. Now the guy's on his knees, apologizing to Wang Han. Our boy could not care less, telling him to direct that apology to Sister Meng instead. He immediately turns to Sister Meng with the same pathetic apology, leaving her totally confused. Wang Han just waves them off, telling the whole crew to get lost and never come back. As the goons make a hasty exit, a very grateful Sister Meng thanks him for everything. We then cut to a quiet residential complex as the day ends. He is there dropping off his daughter Gyu for a playdate with her friend. And he follows up on a job offer for the friend's mom, Lily, who happily accepts. These kids then ask if they can do their homework together, and he gives the okay, sharing a surprisingly wholesome moment as he sends his daughter off for the night. Back home alone, he is feeling the empty nest and decides to text his wife. In their text, Suchi says she is out drinking, playfully brushing off his concern about her pregnancy. He is clearly a bit let down, resigning himself to a quiet night in. But then business calls, a text from Deming summons him for a meeting tomorrow. Meanwhile, we cut to the exterior of a bar at night. And inside, Suchi is with Sister Meng being super cagey about who she is texting. Sister Meng tells her to ease up on the drinks, but Suchi just changes the subject. She has sold the bar. Their other friend then pipes up, wanting to meet this food delivery guy husband to judge if he is a scumbag. Suchi actually defends him, insisting he is a good person, though she seems a little thoughtful about it. Back at the apartment, a soaking wet woman who looks suspiciously like Suchi walks in. Wang Han is surprised, but she claims she came back because she was worried about him. He points out she is drenched, and her one-word answer is just dripping with tension. But his offer to help her dry off is met with a stone-cold death glare. And suddenly she is on him with a knife, revealing herself as the butterfly he was told to find. Our boy just casually catches the blade with his bare hand, not even flinching. She is stunned he knows her identity, but he is already twisting her arm. He throws her off balance, declaring that if she knows who he is, she has to die. With a blur of motion, he moves in to end the fight and slams her to the ground, demanding to know her mission. Pinned, she screams for him to return some beads and a Buddha head. Wang Han just stares her down, completely unimpressed by the threats. She keeps struggling, but he has got her completely locked down, so she pulls out a hidden dart for a surprise attack, which zips right past his head, barely missing him. She screams for him to die, but he has still got her wrist in a vice grip. He effortlessly blocks her next kick, proving he is on a whole other level. It is then he realizes she is Suchi's exact double, right as she asks if he wants to be her brother-in-law. Yep, this assassin is his wife's twin sister, who is still trying to kick him while demanding treasure. He just catches her leg, coolly denying he has any idea what she is talking about. She is still threatening him, bragging about stabbing some guy for the treasure he is holding. With a sudden burst of strength, she actually breaks his grip. Wang Han just calmly goes, "Okay, I get it," which seems to annoy her even more.
This assassin gives him a deadline to hand over the goods, a classic or else situation, then just bolts telling him to stay put while she runs an errand, super normal assassin behavior, and right on cue, the actual asterisk Su-Chi steps out of the elevator, completely oblivious, getting to the door, key in hand, about to walk into a huge mess. Inside, Wang Han hears the click, thinking his psycho sister-in-law is already back for round 2, but it is Su-Chi whose first thought is, why is the floor soaking wet? Our boy immediately grabs her, calling her sister-in-law and demanding to know what she wants now. He checks her pulse and is absolutely stunned. Wait, this is not the assassin. Realizing his massive mistake, he asks his actual wife why she is home, who says she forgot a document. She immediately calls him out on the watery disaster zone that is their living room, leaning in close to take a long, suspicious sniff of his shirt. When she asks if another woman was here, he blurts out that someone who looked exactly like her just left. Su-Chi is floored, thinking he has just invented the world's worst cheating excuse, while he desperately tries to explain that he is not lying and she has got it all wrong. As she storms off, he is left trying to explain she has adopted and has a secret twin. His pleas continue as she walks away, insisting she has misjudged him completely, but the door slams, leaving him alone to figure out how to drop this particular family bombshell. This next morning, Wang Han gets a text confirming his ride for the big meeting has arrived. He is met by a woman named Louis, who tells him they have been waiting. Once in the car, he cuts right to the chase, asking where Bai Deming is. She dodges the question, telling him to call the boss sixth master from now on, then she pulls out a blindfold for security, which our boy accepts without a single complaint. An hour later, they arrive at a very secluded, high-tech looking building. Louis has to wake him up to take the blindfold off, he literally slept through the whole trip. Outside, he gives a big stretch as Bai Deming's crew finally greets him. Bai Deming introduces him to a Mr. Hamasaki, bizarrely praising his excellent swimming skills. This Japanese guy starts whispering about killing someone after the job is done. Of course, Bai Deming's translation is that they just have very high hopes for him, but Wang Han calls their bluff, revealing he understood every word in Japanese. This whole team heads to a place called Dragon Return Beach for an underwater retrieval mission. Their guide is an old fisherman who is also a professional corpse retriever, a perfectly reassuring resume. Just then, a call comes in warning that a rival young master is also on his way. Bai Deming immediately orders one of his men to stay behind and deal with the competition. This fisherman guide yells that the tide is changing and it is time to move. Without any gear, the old man just swan dives right into the river. Two guys in full scuba suits jump in after him, looking way less confident. Deep underwater, the old guide leads the divers toward the grotto. This old guide points them toward a big metal signature underwater, telling them an iron ox will lead them straight to the grotto. But what they find are giant, chained-up sea serpents close enough, I guess. One diver gets a closer look, realizing it is more like a massive centipede. This guide quickly pulls him back, warning him not to touch a thing, then points to a massive whirlpool as the safe entrance to the cave. So the whole crew gets unceremoniously sucked right into the vortex. Once inside, the guide immediately tries to renegotiate his fee. What a pro! One of the divers just ignores him, exploring the grotto with a flashlight. And they spot their prize, a golden stupa wedged high in the cave wall. This old man snaps off a stalactite, ready for some delicate excavation. His attempt to break through the rock fails spectacularly. So the diver steps up, confidently offering to give it a shot himself. With a single chop, he shatters the stone, impressing the old guide. Inside, they find a mummified monk and the diver asks about the final price. That is the cue for the guy to betray them, launching a sharpened rock at his head. It connects, gashing the diver's face wide open. This old man grabs the mummy, promising to burn some paper money for the diver's ghost. He escapes into the water, leaving the bleeding diver absolutely furious. And just then, something with glowing red eyes emerges from the darkness. This diver realizes he's been played, just as a giant snake appears. Perfect timing. This thing lunges forward, ready to make him its next meal. But our diver just leaps away, mocking its massive appetite, and lands a solid kick right between the eyes. This snake spews a cloud of poison, forcing him to right its head like a bucking bronco. He vaults off, narrowly dodging the toxic fumes, then pulls out some hidden blades from his suit, ready for round 2. A flurry of strikes slash across the serpent's thick hide. It is wounded, but definitely not down, leaving them at a tense standoff. But he has got a job to do, so he just decides to leave business first, he says. With a final splash, he divvies back into the water, leaving the angry snake behind. Back on the surface, bubbles start to break the calm. And it is the old fisherman guide who pops up, much to Bai Deming's relief. This guide immediately tries to extort more money, claiming the diver is trapped and the treasure is hidden.
This does not go over well. The Japanese guy pistol whips him, demanding answers. Even with a gun to his head, the old man tries to start a bidding war for the prize. That is when one of Bai Deming's guys just decks him, tired of the games. This whole crew joins in on the beatdown, but the old man still will not talk. Just then, the diver erupts from the water with a huge splash. And he sees the chaos, thinking the old traitor is getting exactly what he deserves. This diver emerges with the prize, calling out the old fox for his little betrayal. He reveals the stupa is a fake, he already stashed the real treasure on himself. With a quick have fun, he dips back into the water, leaving the goons behind. Back on shore, he is changing when his phone buzzes because his day was not complicated enough. A call comes in asking if he secured the items, and he confirms the mission's a success. But his handler tells him to stick around, gain their trust, and find out who the real boss is. Jen just agrees, clearly thrilled about this new assignment to get himself ruined. Meanwhile, back at the beach, Hamasaki is getting some answers out of the old guide the hard way. This old man tries to start a bidding war, claiming he will sell to the highest bidder. Bai Deming, completely over it, sends Louis to go find Wang Han in the statue. Still being choked, the guy gleefully announces that a giant snake probably ate our boy. At that exact moment, Louis spots a figure waving from the water. It is Wang Han, and the whole crew scrambles to pull him ashore. Once he is out, he is already looking for that old geezer, ready for round 2. This guide is completely stunned to see him alive, while Wang Han promises to kill him. Our boy lunges for the traitor, but Bai Deming's man holds him back, needing the old man's info. This old traitor then tries to use Wang Han as leverage, saying he will only deal with Bai Deming. Fed up, Wang Han winds up a punch, ready to end this conversation permanently. But a gunshot stops him cold, a bullet slamming right into his chest. And the shooter is none other than Hamasaki, pointing his pistol with a look of pure rage. Turns out that bullet was just a suggestion, because Wang Han deflects it with his bare hand. And in a flash, he disarms Hamasaki completely, popping the magazine out. Now the gun's at Hamasaki's head, how the tables have turned. Wang Han calmly explains to Bai Deming that his business partner is a psycho who just tried to kill him. He even threatens the guy with a single loose bullet, which is just next level disrespect. Bai Deming immediately switches to HR mode, calling it a misunderstanding and offering to pay up. This whole crew watches as the boss promises to transfer the money if Wang Han just lets his guy go. As soon as the payment notification comes through, our boy just kicks Hamasaki away, business concluded. He then hands the empty gun back, a total power move. Hamasaki is absolutely fuming, having been played for a complete fool. You can practically see the steam coming out of his ears from the sheer humiliation. Our boy stands over him, warning him not to try anything stupid while Hamasaki vows revenge. With the immediate crisis over, Bai Deming suggests a friendly little chat. Wang Han makes a new business proposal. He can help eliminate anyone blocking Bai Deming's path. And from the look on his face, Bai Deming is very, very interested in that offer.